Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Thanks very much for tuning in. Really appreciate you being here. It's another show. It's another weekend. It's Sunday, and it's the final night of the weekend's triple treat. So, people, we're here to just talk about what. Yeah, people, big up on yourself. Big up on yourself. Big up yourself, King Jab. Yeah, people. Share the stream, people. Like the stream. Yeah, people, just a check. Check. So, people. People, big up on yourself. Yeah, man. The people that are on, big up yourself. We are here to, tell you what's happening, people. Yeah, man. We are here to tell you what's happening in the vlogging space. Because, hold on, let me soon get in there. People, share up the link, people. Share the live. Share the live. Share the stream, people. Yeah, man. Share the stream. Yeah, man. Share up the stream. Quick and fast. Like me for keep steady. Hey. Me soon call out the person, one of the person name. So, people, welcome to the show. Interesting show lineup for you. First of all, I get the phone line open because I want one of the person who said that to call in. Hey, I challenge that individual to call in, I challenge that individual to call in. Yeah, man. Banner? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Rich Poor? Right now, me in a good mood, but yet still me in a mood there. Me in a no nonsense mood. You understand? Because some people, some fraction of the Jamaica football fan base believes that vloggers are mashing up the football. Yes, they believe so. And I personally tell the person to march out. I challenge the person. Listen to me, I'm not ready to call the person name, you know. But if you're watching, I challenge you to come on the coach's desk right now. Whether it is via a phone call or your company stream. We have the link we can drop. A matter of fact, may I drop the link right now. Because when we put our efforts out there and some people have the audacity to bring these things to us. You know, I am not the defenders of the earth still, you know, but certain things I have to talk about. You understand? And once it concern us in this space, I gotta make me look at talk. You understand? So, viewers and subscribers, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please remember to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, so that you can become a part of the Coaches Desk family. Yeah? Camera, focus. Every time I move. Una see that, people? Every time I move, the camera refocus. Watch it. Now, there are many things that we do in this space. And to begin with, the genesis of this space was to interact with the football fans, was to interact with sports fans. And let me tell you how my page started out before. Matter of fact, I don't have to go through the history there. But when I started out the channel, I started interviews. Interview some track athlete and football people. Even persons that were a part of JFF that I interviewed. Parish FA's president. Yeah? If me turn off the autofocus, boy, I don't know where I go on. Look at my finger catch something now. Me can't go touch that right now. Let me see how it look on my phone. Because if it not affect the stream, it don't make no sense me trouble it. Yeah, man, me not trouble it. Me not trouble it at all. Yeah, me not trouble it. Alright, so as I was saying, lose focus just now, you know, because of this thing, you know. Right. So we started out on the Coaches Desk. We have world champion on this platform. We have world coaches. We have administrators and all of these things. See? So, there was a game in 2020 when Jamaica played Saudi Arabia, and I was watching the game because I'm a football fan from ever since. And I put up some snippets of the game. I realized a lot of people started to follow the channel where football is concerned. A lot of comments. So I started to do some research and just put out some football content. See? Then information start running on the channel and, you know, we start talk up some things. See? So that was where we started talk. We talked about the maladministration of the Jamaica Football Federation. we started to talk about some things that the coach need in order to let this thing. We spoke about the infrastructure, the field itself, the parks weren't good enough. We spoke about coaches' education, that the coaches need to be developed. I've been also talking about the talent pool that is in Jamaica, and people take me on believing that there's no talent. Seeing? And I say we don't have no talent, and compared to the other talent across the world, our talent pool is nowhere. You understand? So that was how it started out, and we realized that there are some situations happening in the JFF, and it needs to be stopped. It needs to be highlighted, because back in the days there was no accountability. Whatever happened just happened. You understand? So we decide that we're going to take on this thing because we want the football to be better. Ryan Manning's man with I Am Sure Sport, Military Guna, Formula Sports. Those are the main persons who attacked the situation. And we had a lot of panel discussion, some 4 hours panel discussion throughout the qualifying campaign. And we talk from the Cranky to the Neos, to the Michaels. You know, a lot of discussion. You understand? So we spoke on these things. Arguments started to float around about divisiveness in the team. And I think the whole JFF information came about when there was the leaked voice note or conversation between Damian Lowe and the administration. So people realized that there, you know, now the vloggers started to talk about the coach and the coach and the coach and the coach. People came on to talk about the coach as well. So the coach, and the coach I'm mentioning is Coach Theodore Whitmore. The coach was under tremendous pressure, because there seemed to have been some divisiveness in the team, especially when it comes on to the domestic players versus the international players. Yeah, you understand? So things went out, things were said, and all of that. And yes, the coach was spoken to in a rash way, a harsh, disrespectful, if you ask me. Some of the time, he was under tremendous pressure. So the person in question is saying that we are mash up Jamaica football because we allow the best coach in Jamaica to be fired. People, the whole contention is over Coach Theodore Whitmore. We allowed the JFF to fire the best coach Jamaica has ever seen, Coach Theodore Whitmore. Listen to me. If you are watching the show, remember, you know, I challenge you to come on, you know. So if you're watching the show right now, the phone line is open. The link is dropped. Jump on. Hey, I see same strength to you talk with, more you come on the channel. Cause me tell us me a challenge if you come on. Come here, we talk about this. You understand? Come on the show. No. I can understand when it comes on to a coach losing his job. So I wasn't on that bandwagon to say that the coach should be out. But I could understand why the people were saying that. You understand? So that was a situation, and a lot of tapper out. Me say if you call in, I make the people them take you on. And that more you do. How vloggers fear mash up Jamaica football when we are persons who kept the Football Federation accountable. Listen, we cannot mash up the football when a lot of the things, remember the JFF say that they watch these shows, you know, and they have to be on their toes, you know, because in recent past, information was not so readily accessible to the fans. And because of these platforms, the information is readily available. Me say, I want that person to call. Call in. People even go as far. I see a brain drain. Vloggers' negative views mash up sponsorship. Listen, I want the person for calling, you know. I remember, I challenge you to come on and face the music. Hey, Rich Pooh. Hey, Rich Pooh. Mine are you, you know. This is not clickbait tonight, CD. Brain drain, all I wanna. This is oratory baiting of the lowest kind. Well, you can stay there in a Rich Pool. You can stay there in a person. Welcome to the show. You're live.
Yeah, man, coach. Blessings.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Alright, so, well, let's make it clear. I know me are the man where, I'm sure, you work on me, talk still, but, you know, I just want,
no, you have it.
Well, me know some me still, but.
Tell me your name. Tell me your name, let me see for you. Cause the person.
No, man, I Stefan in the chat, man.
Okay, I know you.
Yeah, man.
I know you. But yeah, what say you?
But just say something real quick. See, You remember what was when the technical committee had voted to relieve the coach of his duty? You remember what was the votes like?
How again?
It was about 5-2.
Yeah, man, it was a unanimous decision.
Exactly. So I don't see how vloggers would have been responsible for that.
No, what they are saying, Stefan, because we have these platforms, they see us as people of influence, and we come on and we rant and talk the coaches and the coach that and the coach need for go tap her out and all of them something that was said on the various platforms. So
Right.
the person, the individual in question is saying that away cause the best coach in Jamaica
Yeah, but
fired. Best coach.
but it's the role of the technical committee, as I think Mr. Speed would have outlined, is that they make recommendations, and I'm sure the committee has well-educated persons in terms of who understand the football and understand what is required from coaches as it relates to either their credentials or their performance. You understand me? And the technical committee, within their wisdom or lack thereof, however you want to look at it, came to a decision, and the vote was 5-2. So regardless of the noise that either that was made over social media, whether it was beneficial to people siding with the coach or being on the other fence of the coach, on the other fence, the technical committee has that responsibility, and they were the ones who made a decision. So I really understand the argument there still, but I guess some people just pull for straws. I don't know, but I understand it still, but I just have point it out that look here, the people them have a role, and that's what their role is to do, and they voted against the gentleman. So that was my opinion still.
Yeah, man, big up yourself. Thanks,
man. But I understand it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Big up, coach.
All right. So that is Stefan, right? Allowing us to hear is part of the information or his views on it. Just look back on Uno blogger attack Mr. Whitmore when he was undefeated in 4 matches by the day he was fired. All of your JPL matches by the day, hold on, all of you JLP bloggers need to take a long look at yourself. You basically ruin Jamaica national football just for scandalize Tapper. Oh, that makes sense. Push forget the best coach we ever have forget fired. Yo, Jano, and I come and blame like a saltness. And so and come and blame cataract like a saltness. And no utter stupidity and short-sightedness why we not go make World Cup or win Gold Cup. So this is listen. How the footballing space and the footballing world stay now. If you're not performing, I'm not talking about the coaching world. If you're not performing, welcome to the coach's desk.
Good night, Coach Wagwan.
Good night. Are you this?
No, man.
Oh, I think are you? Man, we call in, cause me I wait for the call, man. What say you?
No, man. But there's a wonder say if one time them hire a coach for the national team, if I like them hire the coach for a performance. Because it seems like that person where I say them thing they look like say just because they like Tapper, everybody should just work with that and call it a day.
The person said them take the firing of Tapper very seriously.
I'm father.
Me no know.
Man, watch a man. Jamaica football and nothing one man here, brother. So some man have to make a personal feelings about next man. You have to keep that to yourself. Now bring it come around here. right now, the football never they really are gone away on the top of leadership because top mix friend with business and you can't mix friend with business. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
A long time the man in the thing and to be fair, he was a good player and thing, but he do some good things with the youth them and qualify for a couple things and but other than that the football never did a gone away man.
Qualify for which couple things?
Like the Gold Cup and everything there, you know?
Okay, yeah, and he reached the final of the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
He had some. I think his record even matched Coach Rene Simoes.
Yeah. But at the point when the man get really fine job, man, the man never did a go on good, man. The man they lose the team, man. So you can't keep a man like that. So at the end of the day, the man come on and make them kind of speech there. You know, really we carry no weight, man. Because at the end of the day, we can't just because we might be really respect a man personal things. Yeah, I say that means we keep in job. Because you know most I do good at the time when the man empire him. So if him did I do so good and so great and him not the save of the Jamaica football, then why the man them who hire him let him go? Based on what people would ask then.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good question.
That don't make no sense. So then idea that person really need to take a long look at himself and top at the same time because obviously man made a perform up to standard.
Oh boy, I tell you.
Right now man the blogger them are the best thing that happened to football in a long time.
Alright, caller, more you tell one thing that we have done that contributed to Jamaica's football not going anywhere. And I want you to be absolutely brutally honest. Think about
what you guys contribute
right,
to the football, make it not going.
What have we done that would have broken Jamaica's football's progress? I want you to be brutally honest. Tell me what vlogger then do and mash up Jamaica football. More you give me two or two things where we are do.
Well, now I start listening to the man them since last year, I'm not gonna lie. And to be honest, me have to think hard because I don't see nothing where who do to really destroy the football or mash up the football based on where that one person there or whosoever say car. Based on one who come with all the time ideas, pitch on the platform them to either improve or better the football and discussion.
Right.
Before we me lose interest in the thing because I cannot over 11 years now and me never did know nothing about the football. I think so no you kind of find but that passion there. So based on that me can't come up with nothing at all to say boy do nothing to kind of destroy the football in any shape or form because based on some people have them personal comment and whatever that now nothing to do with the whole. Because everybody have their opinion and say what they feel like. So at the end of the day, that can attach to what you do really and truly. Because when people feel a certain kind of way because the side lose and based on what happened with the football at a specific time, people have a talk of emotion. But what you do is a great thing, man. It's a blessing because me I listen to the show and I connect right around the world. From England to Canada, America to Europe side. Me don't know which part I'm not touch yet. So right now, the man let people and just try to come to arrange and I think I'll make it thing look like the boy. I don't know if they be blamed to that. one man that will get fired. Really and truly, nobody know, me personally, now really want nobody get fired, but at the end of the day, just part of life, and if you not perform up to expectation in any job where they we get let go at some time,
Mm-hmm. Remember, you remember
So
what
just
happened to
like
Chelsea when them, I think them fire one coach and Chelsea was in Champions League and the coach, I think Di Matteo, I don't remember his name exactly. He got the team and Chelsea was still in Champions League and he brought Chelsea to win the Champions League. And at the end, I think because of that, him get the contract for start the season. And Chelsea now go on well again and the man fire him. After the man the first Champions League,
A business, So that's not a friendship, a business.
Yeah.
So we don't have big business, right? They will go fire you.
Yeah, so it is not, I don't think anybody have anything personal about players, management, or coaches. I think people share their opinion based on what they see in football. You understand?
Yeah, man, the football. I win, I know.
Let me tell you, me see Tapper a match since he has been leading Mount Pleasant. Tapper is a good youth. Outside of Tapper a good youth. He's very friendly. Some people always say Tapper tough of him face and them thing there. And people afraid to approach him. If you have somebody who not watch that and you just go approach him, in this year.
Yeah, because I just think personally to that.
I just that. But if it comes to test and he's not performing, Peter Gould will have to do what he have to do. And right. It has nothing to do with him personally, but it has everything to do with football. So if you see him, I see heal him. But once I know I don't understand them people. But more the person call in and that more you see, you make sure drop the link, The people they want to see you.
No, I feel like him brave so.
Hey, want him put on some shield and then sit down forward. That more the person. The thing sound political, man.
Yeah, man. You can't make them attack them, man. You can't make them attack them because me not go nowhere from none of the platform them and see the man them really do nothing for this style of football. Always some great idea put on the table and I say, yo, who still listen? Make sure so them are listening and take note of them.
But look here, caller. You see, if as much as the people them rate Coach Algrimson right now, and they like his approach and the plans that he has for the football, you see if Coach Algrimson start continue to lose, he will come under pressure.
Yeah. See him here, man.
He's going to come under pressure. And you see why this Tapper thing will never go. No, Rob Smith.
Yeah.
You see why this Tapper thing will never go? You see, because Tapper had the team in a moment where there was the pandemic and a lot of content creators / vloggers came about.
Yeah, man.
So it is like Coach Tapper will never escape, or he could never escape what transpired. Because accountability agents were about. People come on these platforms and we talk about the football, what we're not seeing, what should be reconstructed, and all of these things. So it's like, like a time when there were no vloggers and football, just football, and you just watch a match and you're done. If you want to have the conversation, you're bridging them. When you meet up, on the talk about the football, but you know you don't have an audience, a broad, a big audience like this. So that is the only difference, you know. Man used to complain amongst probably 4 or 5 people, but now thousands of people, hundreds of people you can voice your opinion with.
Connect, yeah. Cause look at it that way too. Cause alright, take tap out it and put John Brown. And then I see him play that time. I see him pressure that with John Brown too.
Of course, if he wasn't the coach, any coach did it in this time, he would have been under pressure as well.
Yes. For the same result, because of football, people are dealing with a personality. You see me? So at the end of the day, they want for us to understand that so the game go on a business, and when a business and not perform as up to standard, you have come under pressure.
Remember, I know, no vloggers were around when Schaefer run the team, when other people are on the team. Even in Tapper's first stint, there was no vloggers at that time that are going to talk up the things. But the atmosphere changed. New media take over the thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
And some people there and see said things now right, but them time people now we talk up front like this, like how you see.
Exactly.
You just come on and start straight, you so. Because a whole lot of people like this, because that's one of the things that the people and gravitate to the thing, because before a whole lot of people know the thing and they not talk, you see me? And if you don't talk about the thing, you don't get no change, because at the end of the day, if you keep on doing the same thing and expect different results, nothing will go on.
Yeah, definitely. So
that
person they be big and brave and calling me. Hey, me challenge the person, you know. I challenge the individual to forward. You understand?
You don't feel like you walk out. You don't feel like you walk out, man. Because
we wait patiently. Based upon what you call us say, now back down in them, I go forward.
Yeah. Alright, now me there in Canada, and well, right now still one player me sit down yard in the JPL where me want to get a rookie in the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I want me and Blake, you know, that they have a whole heap of potential and quality, and I feel like he can do something in the midfield area there. Either then convert him and put they have a whole heap of composure on the ball, and he a good tackler, and he pass accuracy good. You see me? So I feel like Finn can solve a part of the problem in a team. Based on how I'm watching in the under 20 and some of the JPL games when you see me now, I love how he compose the ball. So
yeah,
I just one of my thing that when I say, but really I look out to see that they get a look in. Because young, I have time when can convert and come in and deal with, because they feel like get a look in when I center half there. There's too much time on the other stuff.
Right now, we don't really want nobody to convert, man. We want persons that are oriented already in the position. Yeah, that kind of sticky right now. We want to build a unit going forward, rather than if the coach want to experiment with that, it's up to him doing it. But I'm just giving my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I remember we experimented
I understand.
for years.
Yeah.
So that is
yeah. Because you see like it challenging and hard. You see them find a good defensive midfielder. You see me, so I wonder say how are the issue why them so hard to get. Come like say
the position they
have to go manufacture one.
Yeah, man, a position they kind of short or shallow.
Yeah, man, that's why they don't have to find a defensive midfielder to lock down the stuff. Yeah, good 5 to 10 years, you see me? So you can solidify that year there and not have to worry about it. Just get a next one to back it up. You know, so when a man is injured, have a man to slot in right away.
Mm-hmm.
But we can say do a good job, man. We have to just continue doing it because like say people are like say good, when good things are going, they always try to find something to try to distract the thing, you see me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Just go and best up yourself, still coach. Me there, I go and listen to the show and
Alright, big up yourself and big up the whole Canada.
yeah, man. That's it, alright, man.
Alright, cool. Simon, I don't know what is happening with the virtual background, but I've been having some challenge with my system. So that's one of the reasons why I'm have no background up since the other day. Big up yourself. God bless.
Big up yourself, coach. Go on.
God bless.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Why? I would never talk about, man. How can I thumbnail like me? I look nasty. I want to make mischief.
Boy, somebody decide to make mischief, so me read out the message and call the person for forward on the show. The person can call in, the person can come on the panel. Make us see the discussion.
When I greatest thing happened to the football, man. When I greatest thing happened to the football, man. When we bring back life in the football. Because it is dead. It did upon life, it never dead, it did upon life support.
Mm-hmm.
When I greatest thing happened to it, man, bring it back. That's what I say. When I come up with the right medicine and take it off of life support. So, you understand the thumbnail, it just, now connect. When I greatest thing happened to it, man, I tell you, when I make the message I reach wide and far. So what I say? Mm-hmm. All the four corners of the earth. Understand? So, yeah, man. I think now, it's a matter, we always have a one or two person, they don't like to something good enough. So, you understand? And based on where this I go to keep everybody honest.
Yeah.
Then I like that.
Yeah, and at that, Mr. Chung said, really keep the pressure on so that the JFF can be on their toes. You understand? Plus,
exactly.
What we are doing also is, whether people think it be negative or positive, JFF is getting a lot of mileage. You'd call it
big time.
Big mileage for the football, because no publicity is bad publicity.
No, exactly. TVJ got BSF maybe one time for the week they talk about the Reggae Boyz. When I talk about Reggae Boyz,
every day.
You understand? So reignite the Reggae Boyz. You understand? Because JFF for them YouTube channel brought down for 2 years and hardly about 3 years. And you understand? Only keep the football alive. I was going to say it was on life support. When you take it off of life support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
There's no about it. It was on life support, man. We take it off of life support. I'm going to tell you, galvanize up the diaspora. You understand? People like me, they are saying that Canada and them places. You understand? So, that's a man. Hold the attention, man. Reggae Boyz I get because I want.
And me now gonna say me perfect, but at the same time, most if not all the way I do, it is as a result of trying to elevate, right?
The program.
And help the program. Look at what we did the other night.
Exactly. Exactly.
The people in the diaspora are able, because we put hands and heart together. Oh, that could be something bad for football.
Exactly. Exactly. And people have to realize say boy, the service wasn't good, and Man, I say I get different people phone to get signal and all these things. We want a problem with things.
And what I heard, is that in Montego Bay, especially Catherine Hall, the signal always down in a Catherine Hall.
Yeah, they need a tower somewhere close by the stuff for that stadium there. You understand? They need a tower for that stadium there so signal can be crispy. So that's bad. So the JFF need to do something about that. If we make sure so there's a tower there close by the if we advocate for a tower, put up close to catching out. The signal is good. Yeah man. Right. Yeah man, I have some man I tell you man.
Yeah man. See Travis
big work on the put on, man.
Travis is saying bloggers in COVID time get back interest in a 2020. Who no like bloggers? Wanna finish it. Hey Travis, me I tell you, on my channel them post upon Guna. So I guess I me based on the thing over there go on. You understand? But remember in a COVID everybody locked in, and we come out with them thing and the interest in football.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Someone say them lose the interest, but because of the bloggers, the interest has somewhat resurfaced. And remember, say a lot of people don't know football of them, people in that.
Yeah, man, reignite by the interest again, man.
Anybody want to know about football, and me then call, Then call Mannings, man, Then call Guna, I win no
people. Exactly. That's right, yeah. Yeah, you understand, you'll always have obstacles, and you understand? And you have those people, you understand? Always try to show them something or good.
Exactly.
You always have that, man. No matter, man. Yeah, man. So just stay positive, and I make that the real, guys. Trust me.
Yeah, man. But guess
fabulous job.
Me just bring it out to the fore so people can understand where I go on. Yeah, man,
I don't know. And people don't worry about the score line. The score line is just to pick players. The match is just to pick players for the first team. So these players just come together for the first time. So you're gonna see a different ball game coming Tuesday. You understand? So you understand people worry about scoreline too much. They like I'm not take with Jamaican people as a matter of play.
No, but Jabless, you have to understand, Remember, the people have been in the wilderness for far too long, Remember, I said they want some winnings.
They have patience.
You understand?
They have to have patience. The man just come in.
People must say,
the man just come in. You understand? And based on this game, then you understand? It's simple. It's common sense, Look for the team we call up for this.
Yeah, these are some fringe players.
It's a young player.
Yeah, young and
exactly. And the coach if you see young Bailey, Bobby Reed, Mikel Antonio, Shaman Nicholson, them the man they know, I keep up free now, then you can cuss. Yeah. But see the little French player, I try to get a foot in the first team. Let's try to look and see who can make it out. And that's all the coach do. Try to see who can make it out of this. Look practice session. That's all it is, It's not about winning, It's about who can come out of this to make it to the first.
And plus, the coach is in Jamaica now, so he must ensure he must do some work. So he must get some nucleus together, put some pieces together, just in case he can drop on these players.
Exactly. Because if he call a player from overseas, and then in the last 4 days, he said, boy, we can't make it because of whatever reason. So he can't call a next player from overseas because you have to give the club at least 14 days. You understand? So them are going to be the one now when we go drop and know some African knows who can be able to angle that level of ball game. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it good. Yeah, man. This game is good, man. It's good, man. It's all good, man.
Yeah.
But you see the problem now with people now is when they start building something, They have hard of a thing to say, you know, before you keep it all, you know. And then, you understand? Everybody are complain, but do this, do that. There's a lot of good and thing that done yet. You just have to just wait to the trained person to done them work. And then they can complain, they can find fault. They can't find fault in the process of the man build up something. You know, like a man build a house. They start finding fault before him done.
Mm.
That's nonsensical, man.
Yeah.
So you got yourself, Grimmy, don't know. And yo, coach,
Yeah.
you know want to just stress out the man, you know. If you talk what them thing there now, we can't just force you man fuck up on
Yeah.
not just you know, we can't do over promise, man. Yeah man, we can't bother with over, yeah man. I get this done, man. We can't bother with that, you know. We want the coach to focus on football only. No, look at that logistic thing. In my focus on. You can't do too much work. That give the man too much job.
Mm-hmm.
And the years so the man has to take up himself, go down at the feet and help chew certain dirt and help out, patch up certain patch for the field.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge, you know. Yeah, so I'm have to big up Grimmy. So big up yourself, Grimmy. You're the man. You understand? And when I say a coach take up everything upon himself, you know say that's big, you know. The man to take up themselves and leave, you know. While I tell you, you know. You know where the football will go, but we can kiss 2026 goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
So you have get everything in order, you know, because don't make the coach get frustrated. Please. Sorry, I'm telling you. Get yourself in order. Alright, coach. Go and hold the foot and make the way deep track on you know.
Yeah,
understand? Keep the same energy.
Alright.
That's what I try to do. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
Alright, cool. Yes.
Alright. Other persons that were calling you can call in now, you know. Line free up. Balakar, man, you behave yourself, you know, man. Behave yourself, Balakar. You say you call. That mean you're not listening to the program. You never hear somebody there on the line. Balakar. You never hear somebody there on the line, Balakar.
Me not say nothing big, man. A long time then text a gone, man.
What?
What going now?
What there, you know? What you deal with? You finally got one match.
How did? Yeah, I'm got one match, man.
You go?
Support. Yeah, I'm go down and watch, man. Man, okay. Match, man. Get a good turnout, you know? I live up that 18 see traffic, man. I see me, but I don't know if I feel, but it's because I close up with the can't get no whole heap of player when me go say yo them play good and you see me without more figgy Omar Ochin so Busy Atkins so Chevante Stewart you see me so and the goalkeeper
to Busy.
No, Mr. Busy Atkins so
oh you did same okay
Mr. Busy Atkins so Ochin so show up in the second half Chevante Stewart and I first half and in the second half the keeper pull off 2 save and so and then they really play there when me see with my one eye they stand out you see me Whisper not play bad and he not play good you understand so now
oh you explain that no Balakar he not play bad but he not play good explain that simplify that for me
you have an average game man
oh
yeah I'm have an average game you know and then again me not know if I because the coach me want to take off the defensive midfielder them and left Ravel Morris upon the field because Ravel Morris is a tackle. You see me? And Me not understand how a man can play ball and every time a man get the ball, they might turn back the ball. And when the man in a space he drive, the man they turn the ball back. But me
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go and, me ain't too like that, but me just go and watch the game and support them, you see me?
So, oh Dexter, somebody asked in the comment section, oh Dexter.
Coach, alright. You see the team we play,
Mm.
don't have catching all, none of the ball of them we play can't take away. None of the ball of them when I come spot to play in the team. Not one of them. Both left back, right back. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Not one of them. You see me? No, Omar Ochinto could have make a bench for the national team when the whole of man them come on. You see me? Me feel say Maps can't sit down here now in a coach. We need to go seek some defender.
So yeah, so him not
You
sit down and
understand?
goal score.
And him make the goal score. And
We
not
not
because
say
him come
him.
off for the field
Yeah,
make the goal.
nobody not
No,
say
and
him.
not because hold on, let me correct myself. And not because him come off for the field make the goal score.
Mm.
Right back make the goal score and Richard King no one step forget no like him no one get no shift. You see me? If Richard King did step to the youth will pass the ball to you the next youth over the suffer run pass. But we were right back where King there calling the man to play centre back when a right back the man they play. So comes him get catch. You see me? Because you have to run in the inside too much from King there so.
Mm-hmm.
King the calling the man. I mean I say I'm a three back with the use, you see me? But busy player. Rate how busy player. You can't say need more fitness or
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, yeah man, Lamar Walker to stay up at Portmore. No disrespect. You see me? We can't believe say Lamar Walker have so much caps on him belt. Can't come ball coach.
Coach!
Mm-hmm.
You see me? That no
Yeah.
look good man. Ball whether come from overseas, whether either come from USL or either come from Costa Rica. You're supposed to can cross a ball man.
Oh, go on, Travis.
Yeah, see, see,
Coach, how many the idea yesterday? I watch it, Watch it, coach.
Watch
see
what?
Rob Smith there. See Rob Smith just
Coach, watch it,
yeah, Mr. Coach.
Yeah, man, I see Rob Smith comment.
See Rob Smith is sitting there comment.
Big up all I can.
What going on, my general?
Yeah. Me dey have an enjoy the game reach about 4 o'clock. I'm going to get some ticket when man them win. For Ryan, somebody have to do it for early for sure, give people them, you know?
So you give ticket when me say where you call a win for my show.
Yeah, what it do?
You mean call you?
Me see Sir Robin Morrison.
No, but we get some, we get some tickets some people. Some people don't join us, so we give some people go game. Yeah. So I don't stand right now. I got some bleach and stick it.
Oh,
I'm going to mention them go. Well, you know some put. You know, all them people we are talking. I know what I talk about. 2020, not COVID. Coaches this first. We see on YouTube. Sports down the middle. Royal FC. IMAX. Management. In that order. So all of my people that come talk about bloggers do this and bloggers do nothing. Bloggers open their eyes and get back interested in football. So all of my we are talk. We go chuck off.
So coach, who they say them thing there?
Me not ready.
Go somewhere.
Me not ready for call the name. I want the person call in. Cause the person
What?
they want. Me tell the person say me challenge them for come on. You understand?
Oh, so when them do it. And the free game no coach, we enjoy the game to the fullest. And we relax.
Yeah.
The game was right now. Omar and Dexter 89 for Jamaica.
Hey, you know what's on the
Yeah.
that foolish is
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, man.
Travis.
On the
Omar and Dexter 89 for next game to me.
Omar who?
Dexter.
And Dexter Lambakisi.
I be
Yeah.
touching make the ball go up in a year.
What do you mean by that,
That's how the first half Balakar when the game just start, man. Come on, Balakar. Balakar.
Right up.
Balakar.
One thing you always say to me.
Yeah.
You see when time when they a match, when you see some things. You see when
Yeah, Bala was there, I was there live. So we see that.
So you finally
Man,
learned
but the only player-
all the simple passing man can. One night time you have to wonder if
How the game just started, Balakar? Don't be honest, man. When the man playing that game, the man was a different player,
So
man.
it means that don't be honest. The man be honest.
No, man, we should be honest.
Travis,
Yeah, but
this man.
hey, what is
None of them player we play. When the coach pick their squad, probably
Yeah.
of them can make the bench. None is starting a level.
No, but Balakar, you're not coach.
Balakar.
Balakar, you're not coach. So you can't do that. You can't say that. Yeah. You're scared as a fan, but you're not the coach.
I'm a feel say Ravel Morris who can tap to, you know, I don't know if
No, man, Balakar. Ravel to me was playing. To me, we don't ask Ravel to do that all over no defense. Or if you are playing right, what up behind the two forward? That's a mistake. Let me say coach make.
but even if the coach tell himself he play up better, he go come back. I saw him play all
No, but let's Balakar. If me a coach a team, and me give instruction by the field, I know, we take it off.
right
Simple as that.
right now, the ball of them when they are playing in the first half in the midfield, they are hold up the midfield.
Yeah.
You know, see, say after man them come off, the man them a run through midfield, because Ravel Morris that's a check and not.
No, Balakar, the only player, alright, I'm busy at only JPL player, I'm impressive. Because to me, Makala, to me, better coach, I don't understand the man in a general football. Mount Pleasant by Odion Murray, 20-year-old.
Chevron,
Hold on the ball.
No?
Now make a point. Alright, you buy Odion Murray, that 20-year-old captain of Humberland, Mount Pleasant. And you carry him Mount Pleasant in a game, and you have one 30-year-old, soon Makala with a forward midfielder, utility player, play right back. And they have him in the national team. Soon Makala, yesterday, me see, you play wing back, and I'll get yellow card over 4.5. For the first half. It's see if you come on again and watch him man we score a goal before you go attack him and foul him and for you back off a game and pace and time score. That's how you go score by me.
Richard.
But as me after
Richard King the call in him man like him and I don't third centre back.
no, who's that is the next game, so they have a next chance to impress. And for me, Splat for me, everybody I talk about, Splat don't impress me not at all. And nobody can't tell me, I see it. I don't know, TV watching, but I was there.
As Splat playing at 21.
Yeah, he don't impress me.
No, I saw him already.
You know, me not saying already, but he don't impress me. Let's see Tuesday again.
No, oh, come on and play good to when me impressed with the youth of the centre back. I don't know if I veer him go.
Yeah, man, come in the ball, man. Comments. Come in the ball.
The youth, they impress me. May I tell you? And
Richard King, you know. Who me are Richard King? Richard King, we understand the football is a long pass, bypass midfield, business, stop. You play centre half, you get the ball, you distribute the ball, you see them, wing back or side. Pass the ball, right up, there's a long ball business. Then when you play football again, football can't pass anything there.
But glad to see it because guess what?
I just thinking upon where this one.
Me see all the man at
I told you, I told you the same thing too. Because the two of you did enough time too. Then football will be cut out, brother.
Well, as what me say,
But the game,
player them but I'm busy at Kingston. But I'm busy at Kingston first and Chevron just in a second.
no, Balakar. Chevron didn't impress me because you have found a big one shot to goal.
They
can't impress me.
Oh, if he impress you, they might give him ball to kick to a goal.
What means you give ball? So ball. If you play striker and you not get the ball, you come fetch the ball and come for it.
And then when you come for it, the coach take you off. You know, see Jordan Fletcher come for 2 balls and the coach take him off half time.
Alright, Balakar, you get the call up. Alright, in the first half.
Hey, wanna stop talk? Oh, hey, listen.
Balakar.
Hold on, Travis.
Balakar.
Hey.
In the first half.
Travis, hold on, man.
What? Yeah.
Wanna stop talk foolishness, man. Only if you say man come for
I don't miss that coach.
Wanna stop talk foolishness, man. No reason like wanna know football, man.
So now
no,
we are mash up in football, you know.
Coach, I don't miss that
coach. Just Madeleine and call in the night.
Want the person call in as our company. Me drop a link from it, come on, you know. Oh.
Hey, coach.
Yeah.
Well, it was a good game, though. We enjoyed the time. Me do all the time. The atmosphere is nice.
Your first match.
Yeah.
Your first Reggae Boyz match.
The best.
The man coach, I was there when we beat Bermuda in 2020. Don't by yourself. How are you going, coach?
I chub me.
Hey, coach. Hey, coach. Right now, two. Coach, between me and Tuesday, look like something. You'll make it trip, you know.
Yeah, man, if you foul.
I think about it hard.
You know, then if you
Look like we can make it trip.
you think about it, yeah, just foul, no, man.
Never say me have to work, you know, coach.
Nah,
I work on weekend. Yeah. So I link me boy them come here and them go so. You can go on by tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
Coach,
But
the best thing.
come on now, man. And coach, you know 50 match in that and Tobago, a killer. Big baller.
Don't say the best thing we have in that game. The best thing we have.
Coach, I best player that whole two team. You know now, man.
Him and Dasher Richard McCallum was
man. Yo, coach, him on now, man. Trinidad have a wonder kid, but coach, I just have a wonder kid. Me just see Daily Mail to them and see it, man. You can Google it.
Google.
Man, it's a Chelsea time Jamaican wonder kid.
Yeah, then
Bujan Richards.
they're not too something, man. You think I did joke?
They don't have coach, you know that coach. But I say, man, they said of you shots to Jada and no wonder kid, so and Daily Mail and people say that also. So who does say that? Oh, it's all beaten. Who ever beaten?
But the brother I know the ball at them.
Okay.
Stage, you know.
But coach,
yeah.
But on a kind of sad note, I'm glad for whisper, but he handlers them, they were very disrespectful to his father. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And God not sleep.
Yo, me turn around.
And I'm out.
Them kind of business.
Have a good night.
Man.
Yeah, man, cool.
Balakar. Yes, hear me now. They're not sheep like you.
Alright, Richard gone, you know. Rich poor. Where you gone, Rich poor? Yeah, man, from it, so say it as you go, man. Oh, Jeremy and forward. What is Jeremy in there? Oh, okay. Oh, me just see a Jeremy. Oh, go on. We there, I know. Give me some volume, no Jeremy.
We see I go with that now.
Boy, we know yes, we are mash up Jamaica football, man. Got Jeremy and gone. Jaja. Oh, him forward back. So, listen to me now. The person who said them are going to call in or them, I challenge them to come on the show. We have 179 people on waiting on here, you know. I would make 180. Ready. Yeah, definitely Okun Sana. Yeah, people. So more want somebody call in and tell. Want to be brutally honest, you know, man. Tell us some things that we do as vloggers who mash up a football, no, man. And that more want to do, you know. When you talk, no, man. And if you go and bring it all political, just call in, no, man. Vloggers are not the problem. The problem are the people the vloggers allow at times to speak. These ignorant speakers at times make me have headache. Alright? Rich poor and him grand and him father. Big up yourself.
Greetings and salutations. Are you the vlogger?
Greeting and salutation are the same thing.
You tell me.
Me just ask you.
I'm say you tell me.
I me fi ask you and me fi tell you same time.
Me say greetings and salutations, and you tell me say the two something is the same thing.
It's not,
if I saw it go, I saw it go.
It's not that tell. I'm asking you, Mr. Poet, the man who is very into literary writing and all these stuff. Answer the question.
You'd be spot on regarding that. You'd be spot on. Now, considering I took time out from London, England, to make contact via StreamYard, only to be kept waiting like many a Jamaican player in an airport, waiting for the tickets, waiting for the connections. I mean, we're talking about vloggers being responsible for mashing up or affecting Jamaican football negatively. Well, sports. This could have been a case in point.
Yeah, Richard, but you see, we still have to respect the callers, you know. I know every caller calling.
Of course.
We agree with what them say, you know. But they are still sharing their opinion. This is an opinionated show as well, you know. And we also have factual things on this show. You understand? So me now go just remember, oftentimes we have persons on the panel and we ask the panelists to hold their point for us to take the call. Because we realize and recognize that the callers are also important. You understand? So, no matter wait too long in the airport, man. Just work with the program. Richard, you gone?
Well...
Oh, you're there still. Okay.
I'm right here. I would say that maybe, let's be generous. You need to improve your balancing act and balance between callers and long distance VIPs. Now the reason boss is here to deal with the folly ground. Diddly wings business are gone.
No man, that's why more you come back on the panel. Because calls are coming like I mean no say when time you hold the mic, you know. You're not finished right now. So just come back on the panel.
Alright, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna finish ironing my work shirt, and I will return to the panel and see if I receive a slightly, shall we say, warmer.
All right.
Welcome.
Since you're there, me not see the calls them are coming. Well, you see, start come back in. But just talk with us quickly before you go. Me no want you jump off and then you probably lose your chain of thought.
I'm not going to lose my chain of thought, you know, because I've got reams and reams of documents. But particular points here, I'm talking about realism. I'm talking about respect. I'm talking about hype. And I'm talking about trust the process under Coach Aymar. But let's be crystal clear. And I'm directing towards UCD. Let's be crystal clear. Though Coach Aymar is a professional, experienced coach, he is no savior. And yet, he will need time and patience. I heard your game utter. It's a results-orientated business. And if results don't go Jamaica's way and Jamaica are not winning games, then the pressure and the brickbats and the rocks and the whip will be coming out for Aymar. I will take umbrage and disagree with that, CD. I will disagree with that. And I want this to be an educational platform. An educational platform. You need to give the brother time, or else the man go. He might go run away. We don't want that. Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that guy, CD? Do you really want to be that guy?
I'm no guy.
I'll catch you on the stream. I'm gone. Lines open. Come in, General.
All right, cool. Yeah, so the person who was calling can call in back. But normally Richard no summarize now, but look like him summarize. Alright. One day for the person that call, let me call about that number, yeah, because it would have been so nice. Welcome to the show.
Yes, good night, Coach X.
Good night. Are you that person?
Yes, no, I'm not that person.
Me I wait for a phone call now, so everybody calling me, I go ask, you know.
Oh, no. But I heard you mention something about the caller said you're mashing up Shwari bloggers added something about. I want to add something to it.
You want to add something
It's
to
my
it, so
opinion.
you agree with it?
No. I don't really agree. It can't be agree to disagree, no. But maybe what the caller that person is looking at. Based on
Go ahead.
my interpretation. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah.
But alright, you see, over time when Jamaica is going to play a match, what happened is that we talk too much, and most of us who are talking don't understand football, and we always talk something which is not factual, and it make ourselves become a sarcasm to the outsider looking in, like the opponent.
Give me an example.
Alright, you remember when Jamaica was going to play Panama, and in the national stadium, and everybody said when Paul Hall came, he was giving some drills and some technical play and so forth to the players. And a person was saying on the panel, it was on your panel also, I won't call any name, and said to hold some technical play and drills and so forth that Paul Hall is showing the players and to how a training session look. It's gonna be a slaughterhouse for Panama. They're gonna get slaughtered because based on what he sees, Panama will not be able to cope with it. And it happened that Panama disgraced us with the same set of English-based players, which he was there training forth with, the same set of players, because he quoted that on your show that it's the same set of players, and those are the players that start the game. So sometimes I said this to say this, it happened again.
Hold on, you give me the example, but me don't want you to run away from the example, man.
Okay.
How does that help to mash up the football? If somebody's giving their opinion based on observation, how that mash up the team or mash up the football?
All right. Maybe what he's looking at now. Sometimes we give out too much information on this show, and like when you also vloggers talk all kind of things. Like the coach, the opponents now, they will use it now and try to scout and get information to suit their benefit, because it happened with the Trinidadian. Because how did they know about whisper and so forth? And see, he become a mockery to the coach. A mocky coach really mocking whisper, mock him literally. That's what happened even when it reached to a point. The reporter who was asking the question said, it's only a school youth because maybe he feel aware. He felt aware because of how the coach, the response, and like nothing personal and so forth, but he's young and he glad for them to give him that opportunity. But behind the coach, he said not
so
maybe
which coach was mocking it? Which coach was mocking Whisper? You mean the dentist?
The Trinidadian coach, when he said we have our own Whisper going forward because based on what he was hearing. That's what that comment was about, and the 7 million so forth, because he said when he came into the island and so forth, he was more focusing on the pitch. And the reporters, the media personnel saying that they're gonna get lick and hit and so forth, and so it give them motivation to prepare and make them get stronger.
So who was saying that they're going to hit them? Who was saying that they're going to hit them and lick them or whatever you call it?
The Trinidadian coach said that's what the reporter, the media personnel said.
Media person? say,
But because,
who
alright,
reported that?
remember, no?
Hold on, listen me, no call him. Remember, say, me allow you for talking now. I want to have a
Yeah.
dialogue, not a monologue, okay?
Okay.
So if you are going to work with that, let us work with that. If you are going to talk and me not to
Okay.
talk, we have to go part.
No, me not say enough to talk.
All right. What I'm saying to you is that which media platform or media personnel said that Jamaica's whisper is going to bamboozle? This is my term now. You say hit and lick and all of them something that the Trinidad player. Which media house said that or which media personnel?
Remember, no?
No, answer a question. No. Answer a question.
Listen, me now just here, me now. Remember, you have lot of vloggers. You all of them, you know their name. Ryan, Simon Preston, you as well. I am sure sport. When all of you guys following up to the game. Come on to give views and so forth, have shows and so each night leading up to the game. And you have person in the comment section and the panel, and some disagree, some hosts might disagree, because even on Simon Preston show, a lot of 7-0 and so forth was talking about, even Cataract mentioned it. They was going to get 7-0.
Yeah, 7-0.
Yeah, so yes, but I'm giving you an example.
Hold on, slow down. The person who said 7-0 on this show, we stopped to correct that person.
But what I'm saying, you know,
we stopped to correct that person and said, don't look at it that way. 7 is being overly excited. We said that to the person. So I don't like so we allow the utterance to go without stopping it.
I understand what you're saying, and I understand and I agree with you. You're stopping, but you are the one gonna really, because you are the host on the show. You're hosting it. Whatever being said on the show, maybe you have to stand in responsibility, because they're gonna say if it was not maybe for, I am not agreeing with it, you know, but I'm just giving my viewers, or maybe that person said it to you.
Yes, but Carl, I'm saying,
you
gave the example. You gave the example.
Yeah.
And I am telling you, being a responsible individual, we stop the conversation until the person say them are talk nonsense, because that we don't see that happening, and we even go for history. And I say we have not beaten Trinidad by a lot of goals. If you are talking about beating, and the last time Trinidad beat us was in Montego Bay, that was brought up.
But yes, but you're gonna have to stand in blame to that. It may be personal look at, you have to stand in blame, because it's your show, because without your show, it wouldn't be said. Even if it was saying it wouldn't reach in the Trinidad, like newspaper, ears like people them are support, because they wouldn't have any platform to log on and to hear those nonsense being said, because in nowhere.
So, Carla, are you saying that we should come off these platforms and don't talk? Because in other countries, there are other vloggers, especially in UK, that speak, that talk about upcoming games and give all of them opinion on games and all of these things. Should they stop as well? Are they giving out too much information?
I never say you must stop, but everybody have a different point of view how they see things.
Well, are you saying something to them? Are you?
No.
And are you?
I don't know. No, it's not me. But I just see like that's what maybe person is looking at.
No, but you can't.
I just see that way. Maybe.
You first because may I add to that? It's not like you try to interpret what the person say.
Me not add to no fuel or push no fuel to fire or support, because I never support it from morning. If you're really watching the history of Jamaica or Trinidad, it's always be a close encounter. Jamaica doesn't walk over Trinidad no point in time. Even one time Trinidad football was ahead of Jamaica.
Me tell us, I said that to the person, but yeah, disregard that.
No, me Listen, I agree with you.
Okay.
I said I agree with you. So you did stop the person when he said 7 million. I never say you didn't stop. But
Okay.
you know how outsider looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe because it's your platform you talk on, without your platform, maybe he wouldn't go because even whisper how that coach knows so much at work. Because sometimes international coach doesn't have time to play schoolboy football. They play international game and so forth. And whisper wasn't in any competition so forth for him to be. When Whisper get the ball, each time you receive the ball, you have a player on him.
Apparently, what the people them are saying, look at me for shut down in line, you know. Because when you no call in and give an opinion on the phone, I wonder if it is different when it is done in the comment section. So me I wonder.
I don't know. Maybe you have a point. You have a point because sometimes they're not gonna really look through comment section. But you know, not many persons don't have time to read and so forth. So when they're hearing things, they love to listen. So
because we brought up the calling line was my idea. You understand? Because I believe that the Jamaican fan base need a voice. Well, not need a voice. They need to express themselves too. And people want to talk about the football because some are passionate.
Yes.
Some talk foolishness. Of course, we know that. You understand? But at the same time, I am not going to screen what the persons are saying. If you notice in a caller, when Travis and Balakar upon it caller go and foolish, me cut the line, you know. And me cut them off of the line now. So Travis and Balakar and me cut it off. You understand?
Yes.
So when we hear things that go
overboard, calling.
Huh?
Yeah, too much utter foolishness. You have so many caller calling and it's just stupidity. They're making no punch. You're idiot. Some sort of idiot. Have some really idiot call every night without a can't get really you can't what there is rubbish. And we are always being exposed whenever time these things being said. Every time they hype up on a school like that, Jamaica get disgraced.
CD caller.
Cause even the game last night, Jamaica positive also, you know. The game could win. You know, Jamaica could, and they could also get 3 because Trinidad create some clear-cut chance, even clear-cut than Jamaica. 1-on-1. So for anyway, a lot of goals could score. It's better for ourselves and try if you do the thing good to.
Carla, welcome to the show. Balakar. Balakar. I had to cut off the call because Jan Chevis are go on something different. So if you want to stop call, that up to you. But me have to do what me need to do. You understand? Because you see people are complaining about the stupidity in the calls. me have to do what me have to do. Because remember the program is a world program, you know. So we can't have you and Travis on the line, of course. Anyway, somebody cut off the caller. Big up yourself, caller. What say you?
Good night, coaches desk. How are you?
Good night, sir.
First time caller. Just giving you a helping hand.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
I just want everybody to know that we are all fans. We all have our opinions, and a mental part of the football game is to unsettle your opponents. So most naturally, you're gonna hype up your team, right? You are going to make the other team feel as if they are not going to win this game, and that's a part of football.
Exactly.
The second thing is that you cannot stop a comment before it is spoken, right? So the comment has to be spoken before you can stop it. right? So you did what you did last night with Cataract.
Yeah.
That is the only thing I can do, right? Football all the world over goes the same way. Fans unsettle their opponents to get an edge, for your own team to get an edge. Right? That's my take, sir. I'm happy I could help you out.
All right, big up yourself, man.
Wait, CD.
Yeah,
CD.
yeah.
You still not introduce myself. No.
Welcome. Well, stop it nice, Richard. Didn't see caller did up on the line. Welcome to Rich Poor in the building, and we also have the great Formula Sport in the building. Welcome, but we have a call online. Hold on, we have to get rid of the call them. Welcome to the show, Roderick.
Coach Minzy and the panelists,
Yeah, man,
everybody in the comment section, moderators, big up yourself. Coach, me see a headline and me disagree totally. What have to do with the ball game last night?
No, man, I know with the ball game and with everything. We make Coach Whitmore get fire on them something there.
Foolishness that, man. We don't support the argument, brother. And we see it loud and clear.
So wait.
Such man just never have the headache to it.
Where wrong if Coach Whitmore did get fired? I don't understand.
No, they say we start because we pulling
Formula
line.
Big up yourself, Formula. Sorry, Coach. Big up yourself, Formula.
Let's talk more.
Coach.
I thought
go
we
ahead,
were all
Roger.
on the same page.
Let me say this. Me not cut the Formula, but I'm going to state a little opinion and then me cut.
No, man, I'm media.
It's one time such man. Okay, it's when such man they have the team so Formula, me go up on them show and tell him, so yo, be this big on the money. We have a young group of players last night, them no gel. Nobody know how each other play. You give it some time for it to work. It's a process. You don't need time for work. Me wrong or me right. When we see them display last night, to me, them all little glitches here and there. But you're not going to form a team 2-3 days come together. I remember I trained together for the longest looking. All them little men together, them are play together for a minute. So yes, they might get the edge, and I like them get a big edge. We just think the focusness of the game last night we kind of lapse and a goal score. Okay, come Tuesday, you're going to see a different ball game. Because everybody see what the mistake is. Everybody going to learn to move more. But over dribble the ball every now and again, but we possess the ball most of the times. You know what I mean? What have a team compared to the elders, I'm not call them elders, the experienced players. Them kind of out of shape to me. Everybody see that, but them out of shape. The younger players have more shape than them because you have JPL players. And I think the JPL player them come out and show what them talent is. You know, them kind of me, you know, for them shoes last night, yeah, I would have a little worm in my belly and up and down because I first may represent on a big stage wearing, okay, it's a practice game, so not dead if you really put the you know, the emphasis to it. But them do good. Tuesday come now, if the same team go out there and beat them on them 3-1 and us now. Bloggers now, if I never the bloggers, me couldn't see the game. And we are in New York, me there right now. If I never the bloggers, I couldn't see the game. I agree to when Mr. Chung said the other night, nobody couldn't see the game. So what would I have to talk about today? We would have something to talk about. Because you never have broadcast and nobody see it. So me appreciate the item. Every last one I know. Every last one I know out there where I do no vlogging or blogging. Me appreciate the show. Because I try to see if I'm going to catch one. But put a like and watch it the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, coach.
Yeah, man, welcome.
Yeah, man, I'm waiting to see this one.
Who this?
Leon, man.
Okay. Quickly. 'Cause we have a panelist them there are waiting now. What is your contribution? Run it quick.
Alright. I was at the match. Yes, I was at the match. I was utterly disappointed at boy. Only two persons I see actually do good on the field. I mean, very honest, is Omari and Lambesika. Those are the two players. The rest of them don't do really much on the field. So for Rispa now, Rispa couldn't do much because the midfield was poor. And for a forward, they need to have a good support in the midfield. The midfield was basically controlled by Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, they have a system in place. They know when to pass the ball, how to press, and they press in teams. Jamaica is like a wild chicken that they don't know nothing to do.
Carla,
Like when I'm press.
Carla, I'm sorry for cut you, but nobody has never done nothing apart from Hutchinson and
Yeah, that's his opinion.
Atkins
That's
never
the way
done
him
nothing
see.
at all on the pitch. Man like Atkins never.
Anderson played well to me.
Who?
Anderson.
Based on what I see, Omari and Lambesika was the two best players for me. Others do like a below average. I was it was very poor. It was very poor, to be honest. They can put 2 and 3 passes together decently. And anytime them a pass the ball, a player is way how much miles away from the ball. They don't want to move into place. Simple ball common sense. A man have the ball, they try to move into place and receive the pass. The man not to do it. Omar Hutchinson enough time have to hold up the ball and slow down the player. Because he got no support. That's why he end up having to dribble and be 2 man that show the quality of the ball he is. No matter the field, that's quality. And ball sense, that's what he learned. If the other person have the same ball knowledge and sense as he, then just go with him. Because a lot of time he is the dangerous player. But we are the players to follow through. No one. That's about time in dribble, lose the ball in dribble and become players, and when you about to get the final pass, there's no one. Even the forward line. They cluster together.
All right, Leon. So we are your line full up. So I appreciate your comment, but we have to move on. All right, the line busy tonight. All right, people, the line busy. It look like it's a calling show.
I love me no more money.
Who this again?
Coach, me not still. Yeah, man, I take on myself, brother.
So, all right, cool. Cranky, big up yourself. Welcome to the show. Cranky.
Now we have a part. Huh?
Welcome. You're live.
Where's it, Coach?
You're live.
Coach, Coach, I'm here listening to you. I'm much the man in football, Coach.
Yeah, apparently.
I'm much of the football.
Apparently.
Yeah. But I thought the football was in the repair shop. That's why we got an expert to come try to fix it. I thought it was already in the repair shop, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So, we bring it there?
So, well, all the bloggers are not the same, Coach. They are different bloggers who operate differently. But people have to get to do what they call the new media, and it's a very distributed media.
Mm-hmm.
We have different platforms, different people. Some are probably more, have more of an expertise in this medium than others.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't get to see them. Some people may deem it to be disruptive. Others may think it's not part of what they're used to, so they're uncomfortable with it. People just have to get used to a different environment. But I'm not sure how a media, quote unquote, can destroy the football.
Mm-hmm.
If the football has good administration, has quality players, things run well, there won't be no broken up, Coach. It will work no matter what the media does or doesn't do. So I think people have to look at the establishment that we have in place. The people we have in place, are they capable? And is it why we have different challenges versus the football being disrupted by the new platform or the new media?
But
fact of the matter is, people come. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Cranky, when you look at the media was always there, especially the traditional media, and the
Yeah, but I
football,
think
the football
yeah, no,
was
coach.
what it is. So in
Yeah, but
other
no,
words,
coach.
what
There's
did they
difference. It's
contribute?
big difference.
Huh?
No, it's a big difference. It's materially different from what it was. So here's the reason why. So you can dedicate a show tonight for 3 hours just talking about a small element of the football, right? While your typical sports smart TVJ may give it 10 minutes, they have advertisers, they have certain time they have to adhere to. You don't have those restrictions, you know. So it's a total different way in terms of how it operates. Now think about it. You have 40 stations in Jamaica and a few more radio stations. So you have 6 mediums where this come through. You could have 50 YouTubers who are doing this. There's a big difference of the level of scrutiny, and people have different perspectives. They have different, when I'm putting quotes, qualifications about how they do this. They have different style, different way of operating. They don't have the same protocol as the traditional media. It's a whole different ballgame, coach. So some people are going to be disruptive. Others are going to be much more manageable and use much more euphemism when they communicate. Others are going to be more blunt, use different language. It's totally different, coach. You just have to get used to it. And even another thing, coach, you follow who you want to follow. So now you have more choices. You don't have to follow certain bloggers. You subscribe to who you want to subscribe to. I don't follow all the bloggers. And you follow and go on their platform, right? You don't have to follow every single person. You don't like a blogger, you don't like how they operate, you don't have to follow them. You have choice. It's democracy. So I don't think people should say the bloggers are matching the football. I feel like the football is in repair shop. It needs a lot of work. And yesterday has nothing to do with whether or not somebody predict you can get 7 or 8. That's a fan. But the more materials come from coaches and players, they don't come from fan. Okay, what the fan amount said. I heard the Trinidad coach say, he said media. I didn't even talk about the new media or the old media in terms of what they heard and the perception. I don't know what that means, coach. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, because that's
what I would say.
That's what I was asking the person to tell us where they heard it, because me never really hear it from anywhere. Said whisper I go beat up Trinidad or kick them or hit them or whatever the person said. Me never hear that. So unless, well, I don't have ears everywhere, but me never hear it.
I thought what he said on the whisper was that they have watched Whisper on tape. They know how he plays. They know he likes to go left, and they prepared for him. Right? I think what he's basically saying that they did their homework and they did their preparation, so they're ready to play this game. And they got some fuel from media platform talking about they're gonna get, they didn't play a lot of football. The season hasn't started, so they're gonna get beaten. I mean, if that's what he does, that should motivate you as a team. You go out there and play your best. So if that made them play better and play with more venom and play harder, that's up to them. I think Jamaica has an experimental team, and they have probably their normal team. And as you said, they don't have the luxury of going overseas and getting additional players to supplement their squad. So frankly, they may not get much better, while Jamaica has a chance to get much better, given the quality and the volume of players that it has. So I think people have to move away from this whole perspective, coach, that, oh, by the way, when we get the man and fuel, that's why we get beaten. Stop the nonsense, man. That's total nonsense. Yeah. But anyway, coach, I'll jump off because I realized that, boy, you're hot tonight. You're hot.
Yeah,
the
man,
phone is burning up the line.
A buzz, man.
Yeah. So me come up in the line, keep on buzzing. And I see your 2 guests there, or 3 guests that look out, because they want to say a word, but the line is buzzing. I forget the 4th man them priority. So later, coach.
All right, big up yourself, Cranky.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool. All right, so there you have it. Stan Cranky. The line of buzz. Formula. Anything you want to add? No, Rich Poor, you're there a long time and waiting now. You're near. If the people are going to call back, me answer the phone, but me now see it there again. Rich Poor wait too long. Shano. Welcome to the show, caller. Thanks for tuning in.
Blessings.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, man. I had in the girl and champion for them in the lane. I wish man call that a complaint. And I give one person he blame. So me I said, coach.
Lyricist. Rich boy, man.
Yeah, man. Me I say, coach. I don't know if you remember when I think Jamaica, I think in 1990, that I'm a young youth still, and I remember that they were somewhere either in Central America or something like that. Our football team, and the people them come out of the hotel and a big jump and a catch fire and a all kind of something them a do. You understand? Just to intimidate our footballers. Everywhere in this world. Yeah. Yes. Everywhere in this world, them things happen. So you see that a couple cars ago that come out about the blogger they mash up Jamaica football. Them man never want to see no changes.
No, hold on.
So you see that's why
Guardian, to be fair to the caller, you know, he didn't say that. He was just looking at a twist or tend to want to highlight or try to decipher what the person was saying when they said that Jamaica. So him never really say it. Him just that try help the person. So, but when we ask him for him said no, him not agree with the person, but he was trying to look at it from a different perspective. To be honest.
Okay, all right. He make a statement say the coach is a Mac whisper. Not no go so. A different interview him that watch. Because one of the time coach said boy, the coach said boy him soon get a player to like whisper. Not in that exact word, but you don't know. I listen to him. So listen to me, Coach Munzi. Big man, wanna go and do another. If I never yo, we don't have none of them kind of changes. I will love the changes, trust me. See, we love the changes. We know enough people daily I go drop out, you know, because I don't want changes. You see me there? Yeah. And the other thing about this now, coach, see, cancel the match yesterday because I Florida because I get to watch the match.
Yeah, man.
Trust me, through the YouTube channel and stuff. Yeah, man. For real, man. I appreciate that and respect that a lot. Trust me. Although sometimes it frees up, but it better than nothing still.
Yeah, for real.
Same? Yeah, man. And this is not a team that is gelled together, you know. People have to understand that. And the next thing people must understand, coach, is this. This team is not necessarily the team that will face Mexico. We just the coach just look for some diamond in the rough who can replace, if anything. So because half of the squad now go get you pick for Mexico. See? And I love how Omar play. I love how Atkinson play. And Lambokis, I love how him play, and I love how Morrison never do a lot, but he kind of control the midfield. I love that. See, so more say respect again, coach, and big up on yourself, and don't make no man derail enough from off of the thing, coach. Don't make no man derail enough. And the people that we are calling, the gentlemen that we are calling, we are trace. I mean, this program is going internationally. You don't have to know if you equipping yourself and stuff like that, man. Just have some behavior, man, because who will get blamed? The host of the show will get blamed on himself.
And that's why I tell Balakar say he might tell Travis if he stop. But me, I have to take a responsibility. We don't want everybody here. That's why I'm in the call. So it's not a disrespect to them, you know. It's just to keep the program accountable, as some people would say.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
For real, coach. And yeah, man. I the best thing, coach. So bless upon yourself, Richard, and every man that that man that look like cataract look like what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, man, I am seeing, man.
Right, cataract. And you cause it will for confusion still, but still. Yo, bless up yourself, you know, Minzy.
All right, audience, big up yourself. Richard, go ahead, you know. Don't make cataract take your mic before you know. Hold on, cataract, hold on. Richard there a long time. No man on the panel no say nothing yet, so you have to wait. Go ahead.
If I have to run, I have to run it. Because if I want to dance, I'm going to stop to come speak on the thing, but I can't stay on the show long. Because I play one dance. So, see, Bridgeport, I over Portmore with it.
Richport, you gonna allow him to take the slot?
You are the host. I will allow you to do what you need to do. I appreciate Cataract has things to do. So I would like to hear, in fact, Cataract, speak. I heard you say that you're looking for a 6 or 7 against this Trinidad team. I want you from the horse's mouth to respond tonight, sir.
No, I'm not a horse. And I'm so thank you, Coach Minzy.
No bother with that. Speak. We're not bother with that business. Come on.
Rich Poe. Who was that? Was it Formula? A Formula?
Yeah, man, a Formula.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, coach. No, must stop. And I'm my song alone I play over here. You understand? So I can't relate there. So, but big up every day, all of the man them. But me hear some things that go around, and I want to address it quickly. And I, Cataract, the oligarch, said that Jamaica would and should give Trinidad a walloping on Saturday. I left from Kingston and I went to Montego Bay. $12,000 gas, $8,000 toll.
No, but Cataract, we don't want to know all of that. I know you alone do that, Cataract. Hold on, Cataract. I know you alone do that, man. Come on, man.
Me alone. I am.
But we don't want your logistical story, Bridget.
No, coach. And as I'm saying, I as a fan have a right to my opinion, and I have voiced my opinion. I stand by it. Jamaica is my team, and I believe that with the team gathered, we should have beat Trinidad. I'm going to say, let's take 5, but we should have given Trinidad a walloping in the magnitude of 7 love. Now, all of a sudden, apparently vloggers have superpowers. That apparently I have spinach that made the Trinidadian team get wings, turn a central defender who just came on the field because the change was made to replace Adrian Mariappa. The central defender was turned inside out and then burnt. And a shot that to the near post, which in all fairness the keeper should have saved, scored against Jamaica. And Trinidad exited with a defeat. I am embarrassed that Trinidad and Tobago beat my team.
They exited with a win.
Hold on. And exited with a win and had a laugh. But I'm saying this today. I will never bet against my team. And I will lift them up to the highest that I can. And if I'm wrong, I stand to be wrong. In everything, there's a season.
No, but Cataract, you have to be. No, hold on. You have to be. No, Cataract, me need to say something. So if you're not gonna make me interrupt, then you just have to be that. Coach, nobody was saying that you don't have your opinion as a fan, Cataract. I mean, I want you to twist the thing. Remember, we said to you, even though we want Jamaica to win, we still have to be realistic because it's like a derby game. Nobody expected United to lose 7-0. I remember we used that reference. And you're going back in our history. And I use all those historical facts. And that's why we say you should temper your expectation because this is somewhat of a grudge match. So nobody was saying that you should not expect, you should not support, you should not go about hyping up your team. But all we were saying is that Cataract, I understand what you say, but please be a little bit more realistic. And that's why people ended up saying in the comment section.
So let me say.
So we're not trying to change your mind, Cataract.
And coach, I said that a Trinidad team, which arguably have been in training, they said for 7 months, but which have played no competitive professional league football for 3 years. Relatively young as our team, they had 7 debutants, we had 12. I heard Simon. But this is not a full-strength Trinidad team versus not a full-strength Jamaica team.
You know, I never even remembered about that Cataract, that Trinidad ball of them dunks and are playing a ball. I never even remember about that, you know.
Yeah, man, real talk.
Yo, you just make me feel, you make me feel a little bit different about what took place last night.
Real talk.
And so I said, based on that, that's where I'm putting my analysis. Why my team, which has, apart from Ravel and Mariappa, who was released from his club end of December, have been playing regular football, should dismantle the Trinidad side. And that's my analysis, and it ought to have happened. The fact that it did not happen is unfortunate and regrettable. But I don't want a man dance on the grave of the Reggae Boyz because they have won over Cataract on my team. I was proud of the young men. They went out, they represented, and I'm proud of the fans who were there. The stadium was almost 80% full. So respect to the fans, the ultras, everybody will hail me up and say them are ultra from Montego Bay, Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney. They turned out and they deserved to have gotten a better game. I am not blaming the field because apparently Trinidad was playing on Mars and we were playing on Earth. It's the same field that we were playing on. Yes, the field was in extremely poor condition. I saw Omari Hutchinson beat a man in the 18-yard box, and when he went to take the shot, the ball was in Hanover. Nowhere to be expected. However, I believe that it doesn't allow us to do the analysis, coach, and there's some serious analysis that has to be done about the game. However, the coach did say this is a game where he's trying to see things and players. Some players acquitted themselves well, others did not. They'll have another opportunity on Tuesday, right? But I think that for me, we have an issue at CDM. And we have an issue when Ravel Morrison is playing deep in the central midfield role. He's not a deep line. He's not Andrew Pirlo. He's not a deep line. Bless me. He's not a deep lying playmaker. He's served best when he's closer to the strikers and can lay the ball off to them. Whisper making his debut. Lots of strikers making their debut. Sorry?
Now,
Hold on,
I've been saying that for a long time, and people say they're foolish. Me attack. I've been saying it for a long time that he's best served as a number 10. That's where you get the real best out of him.
So make a reason.
Hold on, let me read this super chat from Tennessee. Coach tell Cataract TNT have been playing friendlies. In fact, they played 2 friendlies before playing Jamaica.
But CD and panel viewers and subscribers. One of the things that can cause a local disruption and cause contention is the fact that Cataract one is a pundit. He is esteemed, is known, and when he uttered 7-0, he's now almost recanted. Well, he's not recanted. What I found interesting, because I heard when Cataract said about the 7, and I took on the basis of Cataract Ultra saying 7, that this is a performance to whet the appetites and to look forward to. I went to bed, woke up, kept a pin score of what was going to be the outcome of the match. When I saw 0-1, I pondered and I reflected. You know what I reflected on? I reflected on Cataract saying it's going to be a 7. So I want to ask Cataract at this juncture, given all that he's just said moments ago, what does he attribute the 0-1 scoreline and performance to?
Okay, I can say this. A team that has not been together, that are playing together for the first time, I do believe that one major tactical thing that I would say was that Ravel Morrison was playing in this deep lying role, and he had the worst game that I've ever seen him have in a Jamaican shirt. And as the senior player, I was expecting, sorry, the dance, busy. So you were here, vehicle. I was expecting him, and I think the coach was expecting him to step up there. I'm also going to say something which is going to be very unpopular. We have failed to replace a player, a CDM, as Anthony Grant, with a like at his level and his ability to organize the midfield, to be vocal in the midfield, and to sit in front of the defense and to stop Richard King from. I don't know if Richard King had some.
Who do you suggest, Cataract? Who do you suggest?
And I'm gonna come to that. I have been scouring the earth. It is the position that we have about 6 eligible who are wanting to play for Jamaica, but they are teenagers. They have not learned the position. That's a position that comes with experience. Jordan Cousins is not doing. Jordan Cousins is not doing as he should. So it's really a question. But I also think that serious questions have to be asked about, for example, Coach Fuzzy. I saw Delano Splat, and the game changed when he came on. And I am asking, why wasn't he in Honduras? Right? Dexter Lembekisi. So the game, we lost the game.
But hold on, Keter. Wasn't Dexter Limbikisi injured?
Yes. But so was Louis Watson, who we carried.
That's a fair point. But you have to also look. I know where you're heading and trying to imply.
No, man.
But hold on, Keter. But to be fair, we don't know there are varying levels of injury.
Yes,
right?
and so the injury level of Louis Watson, the injury level of Louis Watson is that he could never train with the under-20s. He was permanently on the physician's bench. And he could only play a maximum. He played one game, he played 31 minutes, one game he played 33 minutes, and one game he played 3 minutes.
And probably Limbikisa was in no position to play any minutes at all. We don't know. Probably if
we can speculate. All right, we can speculate. So we can. All right, let's forget Limbikisa.
Listen.
Let us forget.
We can't say this.
Sure.
I don't know if me say it, but me I go say it. If put cold water upon that argument. I spoke to the youngster, and the boss saying did injury because of some routine that he was supposed to do in his warm-up activity, and it didn't happen. So we could just move on from that.
I didn't want to raise that. Okay, so forget Lembekisi. Yeah. Omari Hutchinson, who was eligible, was not brought in, and that. So we have to ask questions about that. But the two shining players for me, three shining players. Hold on. Let me just say something. The three shining players yesterday.
Cataract, you're being a little bit disingenuous with your rhetoric with the greatest of respect, Cataract. Was that the fault of Fuzzy that Omari Hutchinson was not in the U20 setup, Cataract? In our truthfulness?
Really? Really no. But really no. We're talking about today's game. The best players on the field were Omari Hutchinson, who has had a Jamaican passport since last year, Dexter Lembekisi, and Dwayne Busy Atkinson. Those were the three standout players on the park that I saw yesterday. And I'm saying those are the positives that we take. Delano Splat, when he came on.
Hold on, Cataract. You say Omari Hutchinson had a passport from last year. Why you say that? You're acting as if this boy has not been called up to a Jamaica squad already. This is not the first time this boy has featured for Jamaica. You're acting as if this boy has been eligible all this time and nothing was done.
All what time?
When you Cataract, you just said that Omari Hutchinson have a passport from last year. Why you say he has a passport from last year? Why you say that? Why you bring that up? I don't understand.
No, you said I was disingenuous. So are you arguing that those three players were the best players out there?
I'm not arguing that, right? What I am arguing against is that this rhetoric that these players were unfairly dealt with in the U20s. That's what I'm arguing against.
And that is my opinion.
Boy, I don't see what basis you have.
Delano Splat when he came on, changed the midfield. However, he doesn't have the seniority in order to order Ravel around, order Lamar Walker around, as a midfield anchorman in general. But he linked up well with
Cataract. Hold on. That's another statement that I don't agree with in a Cataract. Cataract, the game had changed before Splat came on. What are you talking about? We were a totally different team in the second half.
Well, I am telling you what I saw.
Don't get me wrong, the player held his own, He held his own. But to go as far as saying the game changed, Cataract.
No. I said the midfield.
Yeah, because the tempo was up in the second half, and yes. I started to worry when we were in that attacking mode, because especially on our left hand side, I believe we were leaving too many spaces over on that side.
But
and
the goal didn't come.
as me start think it, boom, Trinidad find the back of the net.
The goal didn't come down our left hand side. The goal.
I'm not saying that the goal came down the left hand side, Cataract.
Right.
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the team was attacking and spaces were being left on the left hand side. Did I say the goal came through that?
Oh, okay. No,
yeah,
but I just asked to clarify. But I want to clarify. Okay. Right, and that is correct.
Cataract, so far, and we're giving you enough latitude not to hang yourself, but to explain yourself. In my opinion, Cataract, I've got 5 Cataract. Cataract, realism, respect for the opposition, the bag of hype, and trusting the process. That's where the reason boss is coming from. Thus far, given what you knew about the process, given what you knew about the Trinidad versus Jamaica history and rivalry, given what you knew that this team didn't have sufficient time to gel, the fact that you were still believing as a fan and as a pundit that Jamaica was going to give Trinidad 7, I have not been fully convinced that, bearing in mind what you were thinking prior to the game and during the game, give you any real foundation for such a comment. And this is what I'm still waiting for.
Richard,
by way of an explanation.
To be fair to Cataract, I think Cataract was exaggerating. Right? I think basically he was just saying that with a beat.
No man, him explain him point formula why him think so. And we are saying him need to go easy.
Tempo. Right. And I went to you and I said.
So him explain what everybody in the comments said no Cataract, and then Simon come in and said the last time we lost against Trinidad was in Montego Bay. So we still have to be careful. And I was starting to say we have never beaten Trinidad by X amount of goal. So we still have to be careful.
So reason boss, I say this again. And formula is correct. Reason is correct. Coach is correct. I went as far and said, even if I would take even a 5-0, but what I expected was a dismantling of our perennial rivals. I did not expect or want a close game with Trinidad. I wanted us to beat them badly in Montego Bay. That would get most of our fans are bandwagoners, to fill up the stadium come Tuesday on the back of an excellent victory. That's what I wanted. And I believe that the team had sufficient in it to do that. No.
So if you had, so Cataract, if you had,
hold a minute, sir.
Just very quickly, if you wanted to point
a minute, I am mid-sentence. I am mid-sentence. Please.
Go ahead.
I would not for the life of me dream. I would not for the life of me dream that an 18-year-old, which is the age of the Trinidadian midfielder, would have bossed Ravel Morrison in the middle of the park. I did not see that coming. And if that make me an idiot, I take it. But I could not see that coming. I felt that Ravel would have pulled all kind of strings around an 18-year-old debutant. I pause here and you can expound.
Thank you very much, Cataract, and I appreciate you finishing your sentence. It's a very good point that you've made. So bearing in mind that bearing in mind that you were a little surprised by the position and performance of Ravel versus this 18-year-old, given the fact that there was a bag, very handy bag of Jamaican young starlets brought into the team to perform, I'm assuming that you expected that their experience, their talent, their ability, their skill levels would simply be too much for this Trinidad and Tobago team. Now we then have the question of Coach Jaime Hallgrimsson. Given what you have said prior to the game, a 7-0, a good beating, where do you think the spotlight should fall where any blame, if it could be attributed, and where do you think the fans would put the blame? Because as far as I'm concerned, with comments such as these 7-0 expoundings, that puts unnecessary pressure on the likes of not only coach Jaime Holgrimson, who is doing something which is called the process. 4 games, it's a process. Then we've got these young players who have come in on the wings of expectations. And on the wings of expectations, with a 1-0 loss to Trinidad and Tobago, many of whom the players we do not know their first or second names. How do you think that many fans will be initially perceiving these players who have come in on a bag of expectations? And let me point to Tuesday coming up, because Coach Jaime, who I'm listening to astutely, he has said that he is ringing the changes, Cataract. He will be ringing the changes.
But that is inevitable. That is inevitable.
Now we're going to
take this thing too far.
Yeah, man.
We want to win these games, people. But the objective is to look at these players. We have an important game coming up in March.
But
God,
man. In all fairness, though, you can't really blame the fans for itching to see.
I know, Formula. I did say that in earlier comments.
People were making a very good point in the comment section doing that Ravel is not match fit. He's not match sharp. And he looked it. He hasn't played any sort of competitive football in months. So, to be fair to Ravel, I mean, he looked, his performance was flat to say the least. So it's understandable. I had seen Rob Smith post a comment like a good while ago in the chat also, and it is something that I have been thinking for quite some time. You see this 4-4-2 starting formation, this archaic 4-4-2 starting formation that Al Grimson is working with. But my general, you have to go wheel and forward again, because I don't think it.
No, and formula.
Yeah, interrupt my speech now, Catara. All right, say what you
No, go ahead, Formula. Finish what you said, Formula.
Yeah, I think the starting formation is not the most conducive to playing on the front foot. Seen? I think the starting formation, especially from a numerical standpoint in attacking areas of the pitch, the starting formation is not the most conducive, right, to having this team playing on the front foot in games that they should be playing on the front foot in. Jaime Grimson was the gaffer in Iceland, right? Most teams, if not all teams, that the dentist would have come up against were superior teams. So it is understandable why the starting formation would be a formation that has been labeled in the modern era a more defensive-minded formation. See, the gaffer has to realize that things are a little bit different across the pond. We are going to be in situations when we come up against certain teams that we are stronger than. We are one of the strongest teams on paper in the region, in CONCACAF. That is facts. When Grimmy was down in Iceland, he was one of the weakest teams in his confederation.
Formula, let me ask you a question.
We are a team with expectations.
Let me ask you a question.
With expectations to win Gold Cup and them kind of things there. So he has to act it. Sorry, coach. Go through.
Formula, when this said formation was used against Cameroon and what's that team's name? Argentina. Did you have the same views?
But I don't have an issue with pragmatism, you know. See, it's not. I don't have an issue with pragmatism.
No, but you're not
right?
answering me, Formula.
No, hold on. May I get to the point? So, with him being more defensive minded in those particular games, I don't knock it. Yeah, you have a Paul Hall would have gone into those sort of games gung ho, probably end up with a 6-0, but at least it's an entertaining game. Seeing Grimmy has a different kind of a philosophy, you know. So if the approach was one of pragmatism, where in games where we are weaker teams, especially like the Cameroon game, we were playing against a stronger team in their home, in like a huge stadium packed, I wouldn't blame Hal Grimson if the approach was pragmatic to say, okay, a game like this would probably need to, you know, have a more defensive-minded setup, see, or a starting formation that is more known for that, see. But in a game like what took place yesterday, as a matter of fact, he's not even a pragmatic coach when you really and truly look at it, you know. He's not, because pragmatism just basically means you adapt to your circumstances, you know. He doesn't seem to be the type of coach that is adapting to anything. The starting formation of 4-4-2 seems to be his philosophy that he will use all the time. And I don't think it is the most conducive starting formation for a certain brand of football, or to play on the front foot against weaker teams. That's my humble opinion.
And which is one of the reasons.
Formula, when I look at it still, though, you know, when I look at
he's
it,
not a savior. He's not a savior.
Hold on. I want to say something on it. When I look at it, though, you know, formations differ given the pieces that you have, right? So it's depending on who are the personnels, then you can decide. Now, you know this formula that having a 4-4-2 formation doesn't necessarily mean that's how you're going to play it throughout the entire game. Because there are different adjustments that can be done through this formation whenever you're in the final third, whenever you're in the defensive third or whatever.
In the different phases.
Right, so you can attack, but starting with a 4-4-2, but in attack, it might be a different formation.
Coach, that 4-4-2 that you saw yesterday, that seemed like a very flexible 4-4-2. That never seemed like a very flexible 4-4-2 to me. And Coach, that's the problem I'm having.
Coach, please. I waited for Formula to finish. I must respond. Firstly, the coach last year and the year before, when Tapa was the coach, we said, there is no philosophy. Where is the footballing philosophy? Here is a man that has come and said, 4-4-2 is my footballing philosophy.
And he needs game to get it into rotation.
All of a sudden, he is too rigid. These are the games in which he is trying to inculcate his philosophy, and so I expect him to be rigid. The team already knows to play 4-3-3, right? When the bigger players come. I am perfectly happy to allow him the time and space to put his imprint on our national team and get the things done. I am not prepared to, as a fan, start to tell the coach what formation to play. I am only, as a fan, pointing out some things which have not been addressed, and would say to him that when I pointed out the fact that we have not replaced Anthony Grant, and Anthony Grant to this day is still the best damn CDM who is alive and able to move Jamaica forward and sit in front. However, I understand the imperatives that he cannot travel to the United States for unfortunate things, and so we have to find something, right? Now, coach, 4-4-2 is what we're playing. The coach must be allowed to impart his philosophy. He's going to rotate. I am not willing to ascribe blame to anyone, because I think that would be unfortunate. Hold on a minute. Now, you asked me that to do it. That would be unfortunate and unfair when this is a building process. We are setting the foundations, and
Fear.
trying to impart and get players to learn the thing. Some players are just not up to it. And I don't expect to see some players back. But some players have impressed with themselves. Delano's Platt was putting passes almost on the toe of Whisper. In a crowd of Whisper was being double teamed. In between a double team, he was finding Whisper. Omari Hutchinson was pinging crosses accurately into the box. Delano's Platt as well. Lambikisi. Those are things that we have not seen. Busy Atkins was terrorizing. Those are things we've been speaking about, the wayward arm crosses. So there's things to change.
Those things with Paul Hall, Cataract, we're talking about.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Our crossing has been our Achilles heel. Obviously, when the coach started to make changes, the change be to take off Mariappa, the veteran. To
remember, we are the crosses team, you know.
When I say cross, hold on. When I say when I speak about that, I'm not necessarily speaking about the crossing per se. I'm speaking about dynamism in attack or having the team looking good going forward.
So, Formula, I allowed you long latitude, and this is going to be my last.
No, but listen. If we are going to have, hold on, no, gentlemen, hold on. If we are going to have a long latitude, Cataract, we're not going to have no conversation.
No.
So if you say something, and Formula or me or Richard need to interject, take the point of information, man, and the same thing goes for everybody. We can't have a lengthy that
soliloquy.
That word.
And that's what I was preventing. So I want Formula made several points, and Richard asked very specific question about where would I ascribe the blame. So I was trying to say that I don't think it would be fair to start throwing blame around and end up throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I said, if you remember Richard a while ago, coach, I am willing to give the coach this entire year, the Gold Cup, the Nation League, whatever friendly matches he has, and I am not going to be calling.
Cataract, you're still referring to Anthony Grant, and I ask you a question. Ask you a question about. Yeah, man, run. Cataract keep telling us about Anthony Grant this, Anthony Grant that, and me ask him the pertinent question, and he cannot give an answer.
What is that question?
Who is there to replace him? Who am I going to use to replace him? Who does he suggest?
To be fair though, coach, Joey Desert could have get a run out in other friendly. Well, we don't know if he was approached or invited. My thing though is I am in no position and I have no authority to dictate to anyone, let alone Jaime Earl Grimson. And I am not qualified to give any, advice to the gaffer Jaime Earl Grimson. See, as a fan, I am just saying my perspective that I wonder about this 4-4-2. I am giving it time, but I am wondering, if this is the best approach given our set of circumstances going forward. See?
All right, Formula is acting like Alice. He's in Wonderland. Lanezra, your time.
Well gone, yeah, man. Evening to the panelists, evening, coach.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I agree with Formula, man. How we play football, coach, right? Most of the time we don't have the ball, right? So we need if you say a 4-4-2 may not serve us the best way, right? But that's what you would have saying, the coach, may have if that a film system, right, him can get the ball of them to fill film system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there next way him could have look on it, him could have try have the ball of them when him feel are the best we have and try use them to fill the system where him feel are the best for all of them.
And that's why I'm saying Lanezra. That's why I said earlier to Formula. In the other games, we weren't deliberating too much about the 4-4-2. And in this game, which I believe is a these two games are games to get players, look at them, and see if they can fit in the plans going forward. Because I do believe if we had better players, or the A team, let me use that term, the A team using that same 4-4-2 against Trinidad, nobody will be saying this the same. I remember this is the same Trinidad team in the Gold Cup that put up the Rock at Gibraltar against a Mexico team, very solid Mexico team.
Yeah.
So I think we just have to. The coach need time to inculcate his system, which is the 4-4-2. He need players to actually understand, play their role, so that the team can be playing cohesive football. Oftentimes we talk about Ravel no look this man no look that, and me ask the question yesterday, what are our thoughts on the team play, not naming individuals? And up until now, I've not really gotten an answer. You understand? Remember, this is not the A team, so we are going to expect to see a little wobbling in the spokes because of not having the A team. And we said no, we have seen players that could graduate from this team to the A team. Yeah, Laneza, go ahead.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, right? In terms of the question we say action yesterday and I get the answer. To me, the expectation of the player, of the team, that's why even with Cataract said coach, say 7-0. Probably me would have got 7-0, but probably me would have, before the game, me would have said we could have beat them by a 5-0 based on the players them that we know we are getting. So me not see nothing wrong with in terms of way Cataract they say, right? I get a theme opinion, but realistically speaking, me just feel say probably a 5-0 to me would have been a result where me probably would have too be surprised by.
It not real. Right? Me think it never realistic, man. Good God, man.
No,
some of them play first, some of them play together, man.
Yeah, coach, but it's just there's some a level of expectation when me they have on the player. I know say them now play together. They probably not for them at first, them might get called up. But it's just that based on what me hear from the Trinidad, they don't even have a league going on. Yeah, them play a couple match, not any big quality team where you can write over about. But me just look on the side and say, even if you're there go pick a side, probably between Trinidad and Jamaica. And best believe, me probably don't know a lot of Trinidad player for be fair. But me, if we look probably over a 1 year period, right? So from 2022, last year, them time to now, I look on the performance probably of both players on each team. Maybe if we get a best 11, probably more surprised for probably 2 or 1 Trinidadian make the team. Right, so it's just that we expect a better performance, coach, too. You see, if we perform at a better rate and still lose, would understand. Right? But me expect much. Because this Trinidad team, coach, could have beat we are 3-0, If you look on it, A 2 point blank save the keeper make to, before them score the first goal, So so it's just that the expectation we have on the team did really a bit higher still. But looking at what happened yesterday, like cafe, sometimes you have to reevaluate and say, I know really does and go back to say, ball game not really play upon paper, Right? So how you do in terms of training and tactical wise. Based on what I heard the coach said, in terms of the approach to the game, him say like the plan was to use up the wing and cross the ball in the box. But me feel so we never do enough of that and we probably had difficulties in carrying out that task. Maybe that's the reason why, especially in our midfield, I think that we were just bypassing it. So hopefully we can see an improved performance come when Tuesday we play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hopefully we can see a improved performance there. But they expect a better performance. But I'm not gonna blame no individual player because I've seen players play better. I've seen King probably this is one of his worst game in our national team. I've seen him play better. I've seen Ravel play better. Ravel, they say a fitness level, but he never seem like say more get into the game that much. But as I said before, I'm not a blame game. I just let's just see how Tuesday come on. I guess I knew set a player them, so see how them probably try to learn from this game and see how I think when Whisper come on him kinda they try. Him come on him do fairly well.
And Lanezra,
But
if we are being fair, when Jamaica played against Argentina with our supposedly A team, everybody was saying that the players looked well in the coach's system. They were trying to high press the in the mid block to low block. We were excellent. Why? Was it because of the type of players we had on the pitch that time?
Coach, context matters, coach. You have to remember that, context matters, right? If this sort of performance yesterday would have been put up against an Argentina, right?
That's the formula. You said it perfectly, no? Context really matters because the context is that two different teams. And I put it to you that if we have the A team playing this Trinidad team, they could not have beaten us 1-0.
Yeah, but was that
Trinidad? But look, as I said, coach.
So that's why I say, context and it really matters in this circumstance.
Yes, that's what coach. Well, you can look on coach. I said the team against Argentina. That was his first match, right? Yeah, and for the player them, you never know. And some of them,
they adopted quickly because of supposedly 18. That's the point I'm making.
But you have other players, so you feel like this. We have some players that may have issue adapting, but don't you think that there were enough players that you would believe that they could have adapted well to the situation as well?
Most of them were young players, no.
Can I say something? Because I'm putting this out there. I don't know if you gentlemen agree or disagree. See? If you notice in the Argentina game, initially, if memory serves me right, going on my memory, we were conservative in especially the first half in that game, right? Or especially in the earlier stages of that game. And as the game continued, we quote unquote grew into the game. Seeing? And in this particular game against Trinidad, we never did anything much in the earlier stages of the game, especially throughout the entire first half. And then in the second half, we kind of woke up. So are we seeing a trend emerging where is it too early to say that Reggae Boyz teams under Jaime Earl Grimson seem to start the games
conservatively
and more cautiously rather than, grabbing the bull by the horn, so to speak, like a Paul Hall would have done?
It could be. It could be. It could be. Remember, a defensive-minded person now go just run in, They are going to pick their time, pick their moments. You understand? So probably that's one of the reasons. And we can't say it's a trend now after 2-3 games. Because the sample size might be too small.
Our coach, I look on it from a different. When we play Argentina, and Formula can see, Argentina bring the game to us, right? So I guess we get space in the game where we could have run at them, especially in the second half. and probably create some opportunity. We realize that when we play teams that probably tend to sit back and probably play a little lower block, we have issues in breaking down these teams. I don't know if probably tactically we are not probably taught or we are not developed, especially I would say probably the local players. I don't know how developed they are, to break down a team. If me watch JPL and it's not like me see
You
you ever
don't
seen
see
a
that.
one team
Right.
sit back and just soak up pressure, you see a team a try break them down.
Right.
It's either the ball is up and down. So many players don't know like how to make sure say you have V shape. If one ball have make sure say him have at least two outlets to pass the ball. So we tend to have issues in breaking down teams when them sit behind the ball. So we try to go long, or in some cases I think that probably what the coach wanted yesterday was to play the ball on the wing and cross it over. But we tend to have issues. I think that if the Trinidad team probably had come out and all guns blazing and just attack way, maybe it would have been a different result. But
No,
we tend to have a
my boss, I can't agree with that.
yeah,
Trinidad in the first half was very much on the front foot, man. Yeah,
Come
that.
on,
no
Trinidad was on
man,
the front foot.
Yeah, very
no
much on
man,
the
as it,
front foot.
no man. But oh, me
And
see
we were the
Trinidad
ones
go.
that were playing conservatively in the first half and
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of sitting back
No,
and maintaining the shape and plugging the gaps and that sort of thing.
oh, well, me never see them. Well, me not see them outplay or
They
nothing, but
must
me
have
never
them
see them
get
take the
early
ball.
chances them too.
Yeah, but coach, most of them chances that me see in a coach. I like we are attack them and we turn over the ball and be a space to behind in the midfield and then them string out probably 3 passes and take a shot. If you realize most time we turn over the ball, them reach on our penalty box, So most of them chances of me see which Trinidad have that with the goal of them score too. I realize say when we are turn over the ball and we don't have a proper shape to defend. So I realize there was a gap between even from the defense to the midfield to the striker. There's a large gap. So there was a lot of space every time the ball get turned over on our side.
But Lanizra, what you're saying, and you just mentioned of there was a lot of gap and space. One of the things that I think that certain vloggers and platforms could be accused of by way of shortcomings is in underestimating and not respecting opponents enough. That's where the hype and the realism or lack of realism comes into play. Given all that we've heard about so far on tonight's show, an excellent show so far, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. What we've heard so far suggests to me that caution, humility, expectation levels should have been lowered, and we see how the game plans and pans out. Young players, a spattering of experienced players, a Trinidad and Tobago team that have been united together despite the carnival 1 week delay. A pitch in Catherine Hall that was not quite the best. And when you put everything into consideration, maybe stage nerves from some of these players not quite gelling at this stage of their international careers. Why on God's green earth would you say, hand on heart, broadcast in front of hundreds and thousands of people, Jamaica are going to run over the opposition? One of the things I find is that certain bloggers will look at Jamaica and look at Jamaica as though they're playing in a vacuum. Jamaica are playing themselves and opponents. And that's why I'm always cautious and keen to listen and do my research to check out what are going on and get that context and perspective spot on. Yes, Formula.
Richard, to be fair, we are a stronger team than the Trinidad team, right? And to be fair, if the game is not played on paper, right? But any reasonable individual that would have looked at both teams and juxtaposed both teams, compare and contrast both teams, would put their money on Jamaica winning the game and winning the game comfortably. That is just it's a reasonable conclusion to arrive at. That's not an
And to say
unreasonable conclusion to
and
arrive
to
at.
say to say a thing to formula, you know, it's not that no disrespect to Trinidad, you know, but it's not like say Trinidad surprised me in terms of winning the game or their performance. What was more surprising for me is how we played. I thought that I expected better. You see, if we had played to probably the expectation and then Trinidad outplay us still, I would probably say we should have been more cautious in terms of looking at this Trinidad team and giving them more respect. But nothing, I can't say they did nothing that was surprising for me. I don't know if you guys see anything that they surprised you by. But was looking at both teams. Trinidad didn't surprise much. Jamaica performance as a team, I expected more. I don't know how much shot we take on target or how much build up. I was just expecting more from the guys, especially that you know that these players are you said Trinidad they have been playing some competitive game, but our players could play in week out and playing more competitive, probably more fitter than them. I see a couple of the guys them from Trinidad went down with cramps to show that the team is probably not as fit as Jamaica.
Yeah, Lanners,
So
but even though we are playing more competitive football than them, assembling a team of players, probably about 8 of the players having their international debut. So that has to be taken into consideration.
Real talk, CD, real talk.
You understand? So we can't just, because we have players who are playing at other leagues week in, week out, but at the same time to put them together, some of them are playing international football for the first most. You understand?
Yeah, man, coach, and me respect that. I agree with that view, right? But there still has to be a level of expectation that you expect from a team. I'm sure probably if a Brazil come play us and we probably in camp for 6 months, there's some level of expectation that they're gonna have on their team, especially if the players are playing in Champions League.
What you say, Brazil?
League. No, yes. If a
no,
Brazil
man, a wrong
team
example
play,
that you use, man.
Which team of we use? But look, coach.
Choose one next
at the
team.
level
You can't
of,
use
but
Brazil.
coach, which team? Well, is that more I say the Jamaica team was a Brazil team compared to Trinidad? But what I say, coach, based on some of the levels, coach, we have players playing in Premier League, in Championship, yeah, some of our local players. The fact that Trinidad league don't even have a proper league, coach. They not play. It's not like they play in the teams that they're playing are a very, very competitive, coach. So I was expecting a better performance, and I think that we could have put on a performance that could have given us a. Because some of these players understand system properly developed. I think that even if an individual brilliance, though we may not have the chemistry togetherness, but even if an individual brilliance coach, may expect it at least even a 3-0 I expected. But as I said before, much on paper.
Lan is right. It's interesting, you know. It's interesting what you're saying, because I can give you latitude that you have confidence in Jamaica, you trust, and you've got high hopes and expectation, and you want the very best. But when you think about it, just picture Jamaica taking on the likes of America and Mexico in the CONCACAF region over the years.
Yeah.
Is it just confidence that you would have just based this and been optimistic that you would have based a potential Jamaican victory on? Or would you take into account that the opposition have been playing together? They've got a cohesiveness. They've got a track record of winning. They've got confidence. They've got pride in their performance. When you take all of these things into consideration, you wouldn't be surprised if a Mexico or a United States defeat Jamaica. So saying this to say that when Trinidad rocked up and got wind of the alleged potential beating the fact that I heard Angus Eve, I believe, the Trinidad and Tobago coach, saying that they're aware that they don't have the resources that Jamaica have, including a wide diasporan talent pool. But what they have is determination, a recognition, and a realization that they need to work with what they have been given. So they work hard, they train hard, they train and practice professionally as possible to produce a performance that can turn up at a Catherine Hall, a hostile environment, an excited environment, an away environment, and produce a performance that results in keeping Jamaica locked out, shut out in 90 plus minutes, and to add salt to the wounds, scored a very well crafted and well taken goal. And they could have scored more, but that one goal was more than enough.
But Richard, what you're saying in
settle
it,
Jamaica. We need to get
mean-
a little perspective and drink and eat a little humble pie and know that nothing beats hard work, patience, trust in the process, and realizing that we're not as brilliant as we think we might be. Then we might have some results. Yes, Lan Ezra.
Yeah, man, but most of those things that you're emphasizing on, in terms of hard work, dedication, patience, what would suggest that this team could not possess it? The only thing I see, the advantage
We probably
that they
think
had,
of the fans, Richard, that are more than the players.
No, but he said that the team worked hard, the team was patient, right? The team, the team was there. But the only thing that they had was us, is that they have been playing together for a longer period, I guess for 6 months. Right?
That makes a difference, though, Lenzra.
You have to
That makes a
take that in
difference.
consideration.
Yeah, man.
But at the end of it, yes, you have to take. That's the only difference I see, and I will take it in consideration. And then and again, I'm gonna take in consideration as well that yes, chemistry is very important, right? Hard work is important, but our players, what would suggest that they would probably put in the hard work, especially knowing that this is an opportunity for them. Probably could be their only chance, probably to make a difference in terms of their football career, right? I would have expected that they would have come out and, in true fairness, the performance I thought team-wise, because I'm not blame some players probably just have a bad game, that can happen. So I'm not even try to be no negative on any player. Me talk about the players that are outstanding, but I'm not gonna say no negative on each player, right? Because I've seen Ravel play better. But it's just that there's a level of expectation that I would have had from this team. And as I said before, yes, Trinidad has been playing for six months the training for, but there's nothing that suggests that, that the level of performance that they're putting, if Jamaica had put in a level of expectation that I was expecting from them, I thought that they would have. I can't say them would have win the game because anything can happen, right? Trinidad got other chances, but I just think that I would have expected performance may be based on the result. Not really matter too much for me. It's a performance. I was thinking that the guys would have probably come out and put on a better show.
Lenazra, let me press you. Let me press you, if I may. Formula, you can pipe in. CD, viewers and subscribers, pipe in by all means. I want to pick up on this word respect. I am loath to think that some of these young players that have turned out for Jamaica could potentially, according to you, potentially on the basis of one game, be cast aside from the process going forward. The only thing that they've got going for them is that they've been capped by Jamaica and they're locked into the system. But how do you feel about being locked into a system where on the basis of one performance going forward, we'll consign them as not good enough, not ready, and let's move on to the other players, the Tyler Roberts, to step in? Continue with Dujon because he's got a great future in front of him, and I could see the talent in front in the minutes that he was on the pitch. But for many of these young players, I'm not comfortable with the idea that it's one and them gone. If you're not look good in this performance, you're not ready going forward. Coach Jaime was at pains to say it's not the one and only chance. It's a good opportunity, but there's more than one opportunity. I want Jamaican fans to be respectful of the players who are turning out and have decided to choose Jamaica.
But Richard, to be fair,
the team they're representing, and we want to give them as much chances to be welcome in the process.
One thing with Richard, when somebody are trying to get in a point, stop, man. Richard, when time people are say something, you have to breaks, man. But me, I say, Richard, I don't think anybody is disrespecting or denigrating the youngsters, or the players that play in this team. I don't see that happening at this time. So that rant that you went on, I don't think it was needed.
To be fair, people are disrespect Busy because people now give Busy props. Busy are that decent showing.
People are disrespect Busy. I mean, people are talking Busy played well. I first hear that formula.
Hold on.
I'm going to watch about the game, man.
When I say people are disrespecting him, I say people are speak badly of his performance, I don't think, and even me guilty of this as well, I don't think he has gotten enough credit for how well he played. And even me, to be fair, when I think about it, should give more credit to a player like that. I think people are ignoring it, generally speaking.
No, I don't think it is generally speaking formula. I disagree with you.
Cool. I don't think he's getting, because people only are focused on Limbikis and Omari Hutchins.
Yeah, but persons will tell you that two are the domestic players that impress them, Busy and Stewart. And some people say otherwise too. Sure. But Busy in the argument.
Which Stewart?
Trivante.
Oh God.
That's why Formula say he's included in it. You hear the laugh, Richard.
Joe Gaggy. Which Trevante? Yo, Maria Trevante Stewart, don't get me wrong.
You see, even last night when I have the post-game review, people were talking about Busy. In the comment section. So I don't.
Hold on.
I don't agree.
Forget about Busy right now. Which Trevante Stewart?
Mount Pleasant Trevante Stewart. Mount Pleasant Trevante Stewart.
Yeah,
is that what you're saying, CG? Are you saying that he was receiving a bag of plaudits from his performance? Is that what you're saying?
That cannot be what coach is saying. I think we misinterpret what coach means.
Let me say it again. People were saying two of the domestic players that impressed them, and one player that you thought was not being mentioned, was Busy and Trevante Stewart. Those are the two domestic players that people mentioned.
Why them people need to go rewatch that game on Guna channel, because I don't know where them see, because when it comes to Trevante Stewart, I don't see where them see, but Maria Trevante, is a good talent, I have a lot of time for him, but he was absent last night, man. Absent.
Well,
your comment is absent, CD. Your commenting is absent at this juncture. I mean, Formula has described this gentleman as being absent. You've said, apparently, that people were saying that he was one of two who were standing out of the local talent. It's very interesting to listen to this. I'm just listening. I didn't hear much until you called out the brother's name. I'm looking on the on the list of players that I had, and you're the first person to draw that name to my attention. Forward, Trevante Stewart, Mount Pleasant. Okay. Oh, well, okay. Interesting. As I say, I've got respect for all of the players, and I'm hoping that they can learn under Jaime Algrimson, understand the coaching requirements and the system, and can only improve and want to return to the camp, be welcomed to the camp and feel welcome and a part of the team and the squad going forward. And hopefully they can review their performances and say, well, watcha, I can do better than that. I can improve. I want to be given another chance. So when they can talk and walk the talk on and off the pitch, then hats off to them. But I don't want them just consigned. And I hope Coach Jaime is aware of that. I'm sure he is. And I hope there's encouragement to encourage him to make sure that these players feel respected and there's no disrespect if they're not called up to the senior squad. Because realistically,
this is the senior squad.
Only
but this won't be it won't be a disrespect in my set. What I mean, you know.
But hey, only
yeah,
a handful will
what
call
I'm
up.
saying, no, what I'm saying, Richard.
Only a
I
handful
don't think everybody are gonna make the cut for sure.
Yeah, that I think, Richard. When the work
busy.
Yes, well, when the FIFA break come on, we play friendly. We are gonna have the option for get all of the ball of them available. So some of these players will have to be cut, and they have to performance-wise in the club have to improve a lot. And we know, so even playing in the JPL, even certain performance where you put in, it may not even warrant a look in because
thank you
based on the level that you're playing at. If you score 9 goals in the JPL, it's different than you scoring even 9 goals in the championship. So it's just a part of football. It's not about being disrespectful. The fact that they get the opportunity now for do it, yeah, it probably not work. But if this way no work, maybe you have to find a different way, because who know when we're gonna get the opportunity where to call up a national team when it's not a World Cup, when it's not a FIFA date where you can look at these players again. So this is just the opportunity. The coach said that he's looking for players for the Nation League and possible for the Gold Cup. So these are probably the only games that the players may get the opportunity, especially the local players, to look in. So it's not about being disrespectful, or probably they get opportunity and go overseas and impress. But there's a lot of other players that's gonna look to come in. The Leon Bailey, we have many of Roof and Paris and all of them players that we are looking to come in. Shamar Nicholson and stuff like that. So players would have to make way. Because this is not the A team, so it's just that to me you'd have expected, some players getting the opportunity, I would have expected probably to see more hunger from them. But as I said before, the coach is going to look at some other players, choose hopefully some of the players them probably when I even perform good to his standard, can even get a second look in.
And the persons who played in the or got start in the first game might not get a start in the second game because they probably would have been seen before, or the coach want another look on them. So a few things are gonna be different for you.
Richard, business is business, Richard.
Go ahead.
It's nothing personal. Richard, business is business. I don't know what you're talking about.
What we need for what we really want to happen with the side to Formula and the
feel bad and them thing there.
Yeah, because one need for now, we need to get a side where we can say, all right, this is the core of the side for 2026. We don't need for chop and cheat and all them something. We need to get the same way we talk about chemistry with the Trinidad team, saying that they had chemistry of us. We need to do that. Because we're not going to have a team in a camp for 3 weeks. Because it's either going to call up, when the FIFA date, we're going to get the opportunity to call out players them. So the chemistry really have a start from when we spot Nation League, or we'll have a start. It have a start there. So we'll have to get the core of the side, and we can't chop and chase.
And that's one of the reasons why, viewers and subscribers, panelists, that's one of the reasons why I was not going overboard and expecting a sound beating for the Trinidad and Tobago team with the Jamaican team that we had going out to perform. In short, it was an unknown team that we were putting out there. What we found, and this is me being generous and hopefully realistic, based on what the likes of Cataract was saying, which is he was looking for a sound 7-0 beating. if you have these players taking a 0-1 defeat over 90 plus minutes at home in front of a expectant Jamaican audience, then you've got to put things in perspective, because the questions would be asked, well, hold on, these players, they must be of some quality to have got the call up, to have been picked out. Some of them have not been seen, but they've been recommended to Coach Jaime. So the fact that they pulled on the jersey and people have bought tickets, gone to Catherine Hole, Montego Bay, people have rang in the shows and the platforms and saying, yes, a 5 love, a communal, a 3 love, 7 love. That means that these players must be, in the eyes of many, of some standard, which is why I'm saying, given that they took a 1-0 defeat, and some people are already saying, well, most of these players are not going to be called up to the A squad. Well, if they're not going to be called up to the A squad for the big encounters against the likes of Mexico, and then going into the Gold Cup and then World Cup qualifications, of what value or use are these players? What future do they have in the Jamaican system? I am hoping they have a future of some kind.
Richard, they have a future, one, in their club careers. 2, everybody is seeing this for what it is, an opportunity for players who are not in the setup. So that cannot be interpreted as being most players can at some point in time be regulars in the senior team. That I mean, everybody understands how this thing works, right? All of us have gotten an opportunity. To be fair, most of us will not make it. We just have to ensure, so we'll do our best and we'll push up ahead and we'll hope, say, we are one of the few that go through the cracks, right? Second of all, a lot of teams have quote unquote B teams. A lot of national teams, them have them senior team, and then them have the B team that is comprised mostly of local born talent. So, I mean, and I'm sure, and more than likely, because we have been getting a couple of these games outside of FIFA windows, and if this trend continues, they will have other opportunities to, showcase their talents and be a part of that B team pool, so to speak. So, I don't understand where the empathy, or what reason do we need to feel sorry for these players.
But what are the things Richard has said to for? Richard has said, if a team, if when I try to understand, if you say, we're gonna beat Trinidad 5-0, how does that be an advantage? Like, I get to feel like some people say it's an advantage. We give Trinidad an advantage by saying we're gonna spank them. I think that would more feel confident in the team. If you would then understand how you are, shout to your team, say, yo, we're gonna beat, and shout to the opponent, say, yo, now get spanking to them. Yes, probably it can motivate them, but then and again, it could have discouraged them. It could have make them probably think about, hey, I could play some player where I play, some quality football in England, properly develop, into clubs, academy. And it could instill confidence in our players as well. So it could work both ways. As I said, the coach say him hear it and him they are prepared for it. But truth be told, brother, as much as we're there here, so I see it, and the coach probably studied the clip him here, and probably that motivate him. But me can say the performance for the side, it's not that Trinidad come out and them just surprise me. They did surprise me, I'm surprised that Jamaican look like that way.
Big time leader Lanesra.
Yeah, them not roll nothing away where we can say, whoa, this Trinidad team really surprised me. No, bro, even if with this performance, based on what I would expected from,
and that's why me not look too much into that loss.
Yeah, me now look. No matter of a coach, me say it earlier. Alright,
because
so,
Trinidad.
I say, I'm glad for that. If we have a lose, coach, But I will lose and the coach learn from it. Or the player them probably learn from this. We can't wait until World Cup qualifier we are learn. What we normally do, we normally get them little side there and beat them up and feel like say, yeah man, we're ready. And then we decide them Panama, Costa Rica, and then we struggle against them.
All right, gentlemen, we are gonna have to close out the show. We are 1 hour 4 minutes over the allotted 2 hours, But nevertheless, it was a good discussion. But I want Formula. I think Formula came on to elaborate a little bit on vloggers mashing up the Jamaica
Oh,
football. He has,
coach.
eh?
Yeah, coach. Sir, coach.
They didn't know so that make you jump on, man.
Coach. Yeah,
So give us. You have about a minute or a few.
No, I was just intrigued every time I hear people say that, because I've heard people say, I want to know how, like, me just not understand that. But look, I'm not saying that vloggers get it right all the time, and I don't agree with all the messaging coming from all vloggers. There are things that vloggers say and do that I disagree with, and I'm sure there are things that I say and do that other vloggers will disagree with, but it's not my place to, quote unquote, tell anybody, how to run their channel. And I have had that happen to me, and it's something that I very much dislike. Don't tell me how to run my channel and what I must say and what I mustn't say and what agenda I should push and what agenda I shouldn't push, right? I speak on what I want to speak on, and I do so to the best of my ability in a fair and objective manner. And if you don't agree with my opinion, then that's fine. I think that vloggers are in a, I don't want to say precarious position, but I do think that we have to balance wanting views, because everybody wants views, right? We don't want turn on with camera and we are talk to two people. Seeing I mean, if you don't have ambition, you're cruff. Seeing when you start something and you want it to grow and you want it to develop, right? You want it to be a successful platform. Seeing so everybody wants views, I want views. Any vlogger who say them don't want views is, you know, in my humble opinion, probably being disingenuous. You don't start a YouTube channel or any sort of media outlet and you don't want views. But I think we as vloggers have to remember that we care about Jamaican football, and we want to see Jamaican football thrive. And I would think we all want what's in the best interest of Jamaica's football. And we should never lose sight of that. I always try to, yes, I want my views, but I never try and, I always try to maintain that balance and not publish content that could be potentially harmful to Jamaica's football in any way, shape, and form. Because I do believe that it is possible for a vlogger to publish content that is just not in Jamaica's best interest and can do harm to Jamaica's football. Seeing, I I think that's possible, and I think that has been done probably even by me, right? I have run some content on my channel where when I look back on it, me I say, boy, in hindsight, I wouldn't publish that. Seeing I probably it never hit the way I wanted it to hit, or it was misunderstood and could have a negative impact. So I just think we as vloggers just, need to be I think there's room for improvement from all of us, and we can be a bit more responsible. But with that being said, though, to say that vloggers are ruining football or mashing up football or overall, generally speaking, has had a negative impact on football, it's just rubbish. Vloggers is the best thing that has happened to Jamaica's football in a long time. All of us, every single one of us, even those that I, philosophically might disagree with a lot of what they say, all of us have had a positive impact on Jamaica's football. The engagement that we have brought to Jamaica's football is something that I believe is underappreciated. Seen, and the dynamics or the dynamism to the engagement that we bring to the Jamaican football is it was a breath of fresh air to Jamaica's football coach. I don't know if you agree with that, but when people say that, vloggers are mash up the thing, we have done more good than harm. All of us, including myself, has made mistakes, right? And other vloggers have admitted and accepted publicly that they have made mistakes. I accept and admit that publicly I have made mistakes, right? People have to realize that we are young in terms of our platforms and our businesses and our profile and our brand. It's young, it's evolving, we are learning, we are getting better, we are improving, and we are humans. We will make mistakes, right? We are humans, we will make mistakes. But generally speaking, to say that vloggers are mash up the thing, I would love for somebody to sit here and explain to me in a common sense, practical way, how the hell is vloggers mashing up the thing. Flavor Max, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There's some vloggers pushing an agenda thing. Me not throw no word for nobody, and me not dictate to nobody, the sort of rhetoric that comes on their platform. But I agree with that. I'm a fair, reasonable man, and there are sometimes when I say it look like the focus is more on an agenda rather than on the truth, or rather than on the honest truth as such person might see it. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Seeing? But with that being said again, there's good, there's bad, and ugly to everything. But to say that vloggers are mashing up Jamaica's football,
I don't
mad.
agree. Yeah, man, big up yourself, formula on that. I don't agree. The person who messaged me spoke on our agenda as being on one side of the political fence. So it was because of that why we caused Tapper to be removed. And I tell the persons that I challenge the person to come on. The person could have called, I mean, I don't know if them still in a but everybody when me ask never really identify themselves as the person. So I hope that this person will come on
Coach,
sometime. Yeah,
Papa
formula.
got himself removed. How can anybody say something? Yo, with the greatest of respect to whoever said that, man, that is just absolute stupidness. Tapper got himself removed with his exceptionally poor performances in the World Cup qualifiers and even worse results.
But formula, if you just take us look at England, how even fans in England react. How when a coach or owner not doing their job. Man walk out of the stadium, man stand up in front of the stadium, a burn shirt. People are pressure them. It's just about the level of expectation that you put.
Exactly. That is universal within world
It's a part.
football.
It's a part. We look on politics too. If politician not doing good, you as you protest, people protest against it. Things that you expect, you always you have to voice your opinion. Me get for real. Yeah, I can say there's probably some things that could be said, on certain platform where, you probably would want clarity in terms of how you deliver it, because some people that are deliver it because they want to probably have an agenda probably against probably authority, which probably no fear at time. But many of the things that have been because people have a somewhat of an agenda is because those power at be is not coming on and even sharing or being more transparent in terms of how things are governing. So even when people have information and we put it out there that could be true, that could be false, but at the end of the day, I think that the same way how coaches here and say somebody say, hey, yeah, mash up the football. You don't know. Coach means don't know. You want to know what are you doing. The person don't want to come on, don't want to explain. Maybe the person have a point, but nobody no want to come and talk. The vloggers I think has done more. Look at the match over the weekend. It could be shown other people in the diaspora could have said, but the people on here so already are organized how to get players from overseas, without the JFF have to pay for it. I seen vlogger do that. They say vlogger buy ticket and distribute ticket. They say based on the fan base, brother. The fan base of the football in Jamaica, brother. Improved since the vloggers them come on. It's just that the reason why the stadium probably not packed is just that the performance has not been up there. And people get up and criticize it if you not perform. Because you want people to tell people about the match, encourage them to come at the match. We can't tell if no vloggers never debut and no YouTube never debut. Maybe people that not even know so much a keep a catching hall. How much people see advertisements with it? I go on. So this are some of the things then where probably the vloggers promote the JFF more than how them would have paid for your ad for promote it.
I said that earlier, Lanes, a free promotion.
Yeah. Oh, you mean, coach?
Traction.
Enough
and
people
no publicity is bad publicity.
Enough people not even really watch the my local station again. I have put ad in a paper again, pay to make people come on, man.
Coach, what kind of political madness is anybody talking about with vloggers demanding?
You see that color behind me?
Are asking.
You see this color behind me? They say we are on that fence.
We are on that fence.
But formula issue I go end and we don't want it show long and we don't know a Sunday night I go a Monday morning. I toughest day of the week work week that so really I go put a lid on it. But Rich Poe, you have anything to close off with?
I just want to summarize by saying I think that the blogosphere has brought transparency, calls to the JFF. It's brought a bundle of enthusiasm for the Jamaican national and local game. It's brought a bundle of renewed interest. It's brought edutainment value, led by the likes of yourself, I'm sure, Formula, Ryan. It's been entertainment and edutainment quality. It's brought a bundle of knowledge, community feel. It's put the fans in a position where they can put across their views, their likes and dislikes of the game of the JFF, and that's brought the JFF into full focus. They've got to raise their game, the pundits and the professionalism. And that's where the rub comes in, because on the negative flip side, I think some of the punditry and professionalism in brackets could be improved. And as Formula said, he's held up his hand and said there are some things that he may have regretted and some things that he could have done better. I think we can all say that at some stage in our lives. So I think going forward, I think if we can just be a bit more realistic, respectful of opponents, realistic in terms of what the Reggae Boyz, any particular team or squad they put out, just put a little extra realism on the equation, because they're taking on opponents. They're not training and playing a game against statues. They're playing against opponents who will have access to social media and will have picked up on 7-0 predictions. And trust me, I disagree vehemently. Where you feel that you had callers, CD, it made me laugh. You've got callers who have come in and phoned in and said they agree with you in that having a 7-0 prediction or a 5-0 prediction can only help the Jamaican team. I've got to disagree. There are some teams that will hear that. And as Trinidad and Tobago showed, and the coach said it. The coach said it, just like Joe Biden said he would, and America would find a way to deal with the pipeline. He said it. He said it. This gave them extra wind so they could be going down with cramp. They were up against it, but they were determined. They had extra wind in their sails because of the loose lips of certain pundits who were going a little bit overboard with the professionalism going into the fanship hype extravaganza. So we need to just take it on low, take it on low, take it on low, where that is concerned possibly. And then we will have the very best 12th man behavior standing beside the Reggae Boyz. Let us not get over and get into the whole bag of hype. Let's trust the process, trust the process, trust the process of Coach Highmore, and all must come true one way or the other. But we don't want the hype to bring false hope. And that we are moving. Peace and love, CD. Trust me, Panda.
All right. Big up yourself, Richard. Big up yourself, Laneja. Big up yourself, Formula. Big up Cataract, who was on as well. I don't know, you know. I think, in my opinion, I will agree with Formula. We are not mashing up any football. Sometimes the views are contending. Sometimes views are rough. Sometimes views are subtle. Sometimes views are sharp. Sometimes views are simple. Sometimes views are poetic. Sometimes views are what you'd call it intermittently, not too regularly. But I believe, like somebody said, of course we can improve on our craft. But to say that we are mashing up the football, I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because most of the things that we have spoken about, this coach come and talk about it. And most of the things that we have spoken about, some of them have been implemented. So I think we are doing a lot of good. Not to say that we are not doing 100% good, but we are getting there. But when it come on to ranting and whatever, the deportment and all of these things, the quorum or so, yeah, we kind of have some shortcomings there. And it is as a result also because it is new media. You can express yourself differently. When you're going on a primetime TVJ CVM setting, you can't behave. You can't talk about one long thing about vloggers mashing up Jamaica football. No. You have to just give that a snippet in your program. Because ads have to run, bills have to pay, and all of these things. So, I mean, me didn't want the person call in, you know, man. But the person probably afraid. Or the person call in, but I wonder for Richard. But, you know. Anyways. Big up on yourself, people. Thank you very much for tuning in. Looking forward to see some of you at the match on Tuesday. Until next time, people. Stay safe. Peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.